On the final night in 2003, one last chance for Arkansas running back Cedric Cobbs to shine. The All-SEC back is out to give Hogs fans one final memory tonight in Shreveport. Missouri is led by the electrifying Brad Smith, their multi-talented quarterback. The new year starts tomorrow, but for Smith, the Heisman campaign begins tonight. One final night, two solid teams. A great way to end 2003. To Shreveport and the 28th annual Mainstay Independence Bowl. Tonight, Arkansas, a mainstay in the bowl picture in the postseason for the 6th year in a row against Missouri, playing in its first bowl game since 1998. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy New Year. I'm Sean McDonough, delighted to have you with us. Arkansas and Missouri are border states, but they are playing tonight for just the 4th time on the football field and the first time since 1963. So even though they aren't very familiar with each other, they do have a lot in common. Both teams were 8-4 this year, 4-4 in their respective conferences. They are two of the top 8 rushing teams in the nation, both outstanding at protecting the football. They're in the top 17, both of them, in turnover margin. And each team has a 1,000-yard rusher and a great dual-threaded quarterback who can pass and run. I'm joined by two guys who also have a lot in common, Rod Gilmore and Mike Golick. And Rod, let's start with you and talk about this Arkansas team.
Well, when you talk about Arkansas, you really have to start with their quarterback, Matt Jones. Quarterback, yeah, but really he's just a flat-out playmaker, okay? If he's at the quarterback spot, once the play is called, that's when things really get kind of strange. He may scramble, he may just take an option, but he's a great athlete, 6'6" and about 4'3" speed. But when they want to really run the ball right at you, they have Cedric Cobbs, and he can really get it done. Over 1,000 yards in the SEC this season. He can be a power runner inside, but he's got the speed to get outside. He can really challenge a team, Mike Golick. When they get this guy going, along with a little bit of Matt Jones mixed in, this running attack is very hard to deal with. I think Missouri will have their hands full with these two guys.
Very impressive 1-2 punch, but I have one of my own over with Missouri with Brad Smith, their quarterback, and Zach Abram, their running back. And let's start with Brad Smith. You could put the word Heisman next to his name next year. He will be in the running because he runs the ball so well. 17 touchdowns, over 16 carries a game, and 6 yards per carry. He can do it with his arm, but he has designed plays for him to use it with his legs. And if he's not rushing with the ball, Zach Abram is as well. He has over 1,000 yards. As a matter of fact, it's the first time in Missouri history they have had 2 rushers go for over 1,000 yards. And Sean, between the two of them, 30 rushing touchdown between these two. But Brad Smith makes his whole thing go.
Indeed he does. The Missouri Tigers taking the field now. Very fired up for this one. They have a chance for a 9-win season, something that's happened only 3 times in the history of their program. Houston Nutt in Arkansas, the opponent tonight. The kickoff in a moment. And a near-capacity crowd on hand here at the Mainstay Independence Bowl. This stadium seats about 50,000. Arkansas sold all of its tickets, and Missouri had just a couple of 100 tickets left out of its allotment of nearly 12,000. We're pleased to be joined here tonight in Shreveport by Rob Stone.
Sean, the SEC's best rushing offense went through some serious turmoil at the end of the regular season. First, there was the mutual parting of ways between the team and starting fullback Mark Pierce. Then the big blow, literally. All-American right tackle Shawn Andrews left the team, saying that doctors had advised against him playing in this game due to a sinus condition. Andrews, who was twice voted the SEC's best blocker, will now enter the NFL draft. In his place, a bigger, taller, but less experienced Zach Tubbs. So, guys, it's going to be very interesting to see if the backups can play like starters tonight.
Beautiful night for a football game, 57 degrees. The breeze might be a factor. You can see it is affecting the flag and blowing up to about 10 miles per hour. Arkansas won the toss and will receive, so Michael Matheny, the senior, will kick off. To Corey Birmingham back deep along with Cedric Washington. Low line drive kick taken on a bounce by Washington at the 5-yard line. And he fights his way out to the 29-yard line, tackled by A.J. Kincaid. A return of 25. Ryan Sorahan will start at quarterback, but how long he is in there is anybody's guess. It might just be this one series. It might be 2 or 3. But eventually we will see Matt Jones. Sorahan has started 3 of the last 4 games. He did not play in the regular season finale, a loss to LSU. He's a senior from Los Gatos, California, near San Jose. And he's back to pass on the first play of the ball game and on target for a first down to the 46-yard line to George Wilson, their leading receiver. With his 48th catch of the year, Wilson and Richard Smith are the wideouts. Jason Peters, an all-conference tight end, and Kennedy takes the place of Pierce, as Rob Stone told you, has left the program. Lacey, Wright, Doty, Bokerman, and Tubbs. Tubbs standing in for the All-American Andrews at right tackle. They have confidence in him. And Cobbs, the first carry of the night. And he's close to another first down. Down to the 44-yard line of Missouri, where Terrence Curry made the tackle. We'll see about 21 different players on defense for Missouri tonight. Jackson, Ellison, Bell, and Ville start in the front 4. Barnes with Kinney, their leading tackler, and Overstreet. The linebackers, Curry back from major knee problems. Williams, Harrington, and Harden in the secondary. It's a much improved Missouri defense this year. Cobbs trying to get to the first down line at the 44. It'll be very close. Cobbs, a 5th-year senior from Little Rock, has had an up-and-down career. Brilliant true freshman season, capped by an MVP performance in the Cotton Bowl, but struggles in the intervening years until this year when he bounced back with the great season of more than 1,000 yards.
Real interesting story that we'll get into during the night tonight, and you'll see him get a lot of carries, as we talked about on the top. And what Rob Stone mentioned about Sean Andrews being gone, the all-everything right tackle declared for the draft. It'll be interesting to see the direction Arkansas rushes tonight. Again, 7th in the nation and 1st in the SEC in rushing at 237 yards a game. Sean Andrews was a right tackle. Guy behind him, Zach Tubbs, 6'6", 375. He's a beast, but he hasn't played a lot. So let's see if they go to the other side, where Bo Lacey is a left tackle, and he's been a player there for a long time.
He'll get a little bit of help by an experienced offensive line. 4 seniors.
Inches short of the first down. And moving along the line, no flags down. Then it's a first down for Cobbs. To the 37-yard line, where Brandon Barnes made the tackle for Missouri.
Sean, you talked about Cedric Cobbs and his great freshman year. He was a big-time recruit coming out of high school and had the great freshman season, and then things went kind of south for him for a while with injuries and the like.
Injuries, off-the-field problems. He recommitted himself to becoming a better football player again. Cleaned up some of the off-the-field issues. Here's a reverse to Cedric Washington. And played well by the Tigers. Terrence Curry held his ground and made the tackle at the 39-yard line. That's a loss of 2 on the play.
Good play by Curry. There was the backup, Zach Tubbs, we've been talking about, out in space. The big guy against a smaller man who just was able, in Curry, to go around him and make a nice open field tackle. A little trickeration early for Arkansas, a team that's, as we take a look at Tubbs, and let me tell you what, I saw him before the game. He is all a 375. That 351, forget that. Just that's gone. No. That ain't happening.
And a timeout requested by Sorahan. Arkansas on the move. Nearly 2.5 minutes in here in Shreveport. Welcome back to Shreveport after the timeout for Arkansas. 2nd down and 12. They're on the move at the Missouri 39-yard line. Sorahan with time. And as the tight end, Jason Peters, very near a first down. He's 6'5", 320. Second team All-SEC as a tight end this season with 21 catches now. It's been about 3 or 4 years since the days of Joe Dean Davenport where they had a tight end they really threw the ball to.
And how about using this guy at 320? Is this the new wave of tight ends now? It's unbelievable.
That can't be.
And look at all the guys that are around him. When he catches the ball, he's going to draw a crowd. Rarely is the first man going to bring him down.
Well, feel sorry for the guys in the secondary trying to take on a 320-pound guy.
3rd and 1. Extra tight ends on the field. Cobbs, this will be close. He might have picked it up with that late lunge, but as you can see with that yellow line, they're not going to give him that spot. Brandon Barnes with the primary hit. A senior from Sikeston, Missouri.
Well, you're going to have an early decision here. 4th down and less than a yard. You got the #1 rushing team in the SEC at 2:37 a game. I don't think it's even a question what you do here. Well,
they've got a home crowd, too. I mean, this crowd is essentially an Arkansas crowd. You're going to get a lot of noise on your side. Yeah, go for it early here.
4th and less than a yard. Run had a lot of success on 4th down this year, as you see. Good cutback by Cobbs. Looked like he might be dead behind the line of scrimmage. But he made a nice move and got to the 22 for a gain of 5 and a first down. Xavier Jackson made the tackle for the Tigers.
You'll see C.J. Mosley come in here and make penetration 99. A nice cutback by Cobbs. He sees there's penetration. He cuts back to the backside. He only needs a yard. Nobody was home.
Cobbs, first team All-SEC this year. Led the conference in rushing at 107 yards per game. Again, he spins away from traffic behind the line, but didn't get very far. Atia Ellison, the defensive tackle, made the play. He'll rotate 3 players at tackle: Russ Bell, Atia Ellison, and C.J. Mosley. They'll play 3 plays at a time, play 3 at one tackle position, 3 at the other, and then come out for 3 plays.
You saw that replay of Cobbs getting inside, and Tubbs, 69 on the right side, struggling to make a block that time.
Short drop by Sorahan, a flutter ball that is caught along the near sideline by Richard Smith. He's back in his hometown. He's a senior from Shreveport, Louisiana. Michael Harden made the tackle, short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
The one thing about Sorahan is that he throws the ball better than Matt Jones. And you can see that he was a prep star out in Northern California in the Los Gatos area near San Jose, originally signed with California. And he can throw a good ball, but he is not as mobile as Matt Jones.
And only 69 attempts this year for Sorahan. If you take a look at Matt Jones, you'll see him in a series or 2.
Play clock about to run out. Sorahan has to use another timeout.
Wow.
They burned 2 on this 10-play drive. 9.5 left in the first quarter. Still no score.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2003 Mainstay Independence Bowl. Presented by Mainstay, proud sponsor of the Mainstay Independence Bowl. And in part by Delta. Find great low fares and special offers every day at delta.com. And by Jeep. If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
3rd and 4, Arkansas, the 11th play of the drive. This is the opening possession of the football game. Then Cobbs gets nothing. Zach Vill, with help from James Kinney, made the tackle.
Excellent job by Zach Vill. He took the inside, going inside the big tight end. Peters, a 320-pounder. He slants inside, then is able to come back around. The rest of his teammates turn him back inside to where all the fun is, and Vill's able to run him down, coming back from the inside.
So here's Chris Balsero, sophomore from Miami. He was the backup place kicker until the 4th game of the year. When David Carlton missed a couple at Alabama, Balsero took over. And with that kick, he's now 8 for 12. A 33-yard field goal up and good. Balsero's a walk-on, still not on scholarship. He hopes with a good showing tonight, combined with what he's done the rest of the year, he'll be put on scholarship. He had attempted just one field goal over the last 4 games. A good opening drive for the Hogs, and they lead 3-0. Ryan Sorahan 3 for 3 passing on that opening drive for Arkansas. So you'd expect that he will come back for at least one more series at quarterback, as he took them 55 yards to set up the 33-yard field goal.
And when he comes back at quarterback, if he does, we may see Matt Jones at wide receiver. Play some at wide receiver at well.
Marcus James returning the David Carlton kickoff, and a very good return. 30 yards on the run back. Marcus Whitmore made the tackle for Arkansas. Well, there's no question who the Missouri quarterback will be. Brad Smith, the sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio, out of Cheney High School. Now 6'2", 205, but one of the reasons he wasn't very highly recruited out of Youngstown was when he was a senior in high school, he was 16 years old, weighed 168 pounds. Gary Pinkel was then the coach at Toledo and was recruiting him to come be a Rocket. And on first down, Zach Abram dropped for a loss by Caleb Miller, one of the outstanding linebackers in the Southeastern Conference. The rest of the lineup around Brad Smith on offense for Missouri. Abram, the 1,000-yard rusher. Amboga is their leading receiver. They'll open with 3 wide receivers, and J.D. McCoy, the tight end. Draghi and Rickard are all conference performers in the Big 12. Big throw and a juggling catch made for a first down. Sean Coffey with the 12-yard reception. Up front for Arkansas, Scott, Dixon, Davenport, and Huckabee. That's the pronunciation of Jeb's name. Alajabutu in the middle between Bua, who's back home in Louisiana. Richardson, Vaughn, Beasley, and Carroll, the secondary. And a big hole for Abram. Stays on his feet after bouncing off Lawrence Richardson and goes down to the 11-yard line.
Wow. If I call him a bowling ball at the top of the broadcast, I'd say that was the definition right here. This is hitting a pin and bounce. Oh, man.
You got Lawrence Richardson there.
Yeah, he was the pin. Abram is 5'9", 230 pounds. He's one big muscle, and he runs like it.
Give Richardson credit. After Abram bounced off him, Lawrence stayed in the play and made the tackle. Here's the backup, Damian Nash. He's rushed for more than 400 yards. So Abram came out after the 42-yard run, and Nash had to give him a breather. Damian's a sophomore. Abram is his roommate and mentor. He says he's learned a lot about playing running back and a lot about this Missouri offense from Abram. Nash stays in the game, takes the handoff, running right, and twists inside the 2. It looks like he has the first down. Sam Alajabutu, who was the 3rd-string middle linebacker when the season began, but due to injuries has moved up to number 1 and played pretty well. Made the tackle for Arkansas. Well,
Abram is the leading scorer all-time here in Missouri. Leader in touchdowns with 41. Leader in rushing yards with 3,061. He is really capping a very nice career. When he goes out and Nash comes in, who's a lot swifter, it's called the Humvee and the Ferrari, with Nash being the Ferrari.
Abram back in, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri.
Well, they make that look a little easy, guys?
You know one thing. If Arkansas hadn't buckled up their chin straps before, they better do it now.
There's some eyes watering out there from getting popped a little bit, and they're going to need to settle in.
Michael Matheny trying to add the extra point, and he did. 6 plays, 66 yards. There is a flag down to the extra point.
It's going to be offsides on Arkansas.
Looked like Aaron Dixon was offside.
Well, it was a nice drive by Missouri, and their leading rusher never rushed the ball.
Well,
that's their quarterback.
But you have to keep in mind this Arkansas defense. The Arkansas defense linebackers are small.
Right.
They're fast, but they're not big.
The big play, the 42-yard run by Aburn, then he punched it in to give the Tigers the lead.
Thank you.
Well, Missouri in a bowl game for the first time since 1998. They didn't seem very affected by the spotlight here tonight as Gary Pinkel's team went right down the field. He has a chance to even his record at 500. Gradually turning this Missouri program around. He said it's been frustrating that it's taken this long because he's used to tremendous success. 10 years at Toledo, where he's the all-time winningest coach. Prior to that, a long-time assistant to Don James at the University of Washington with some terrific teams. Cedric Washington runs back the kickoff, 23 yards out to the 23-yard line.
Well, the last time that Arkansas had the ball, they used the pass to open things up. Sohan finding his big tight end, Jason Peters, and then a nice toss to the outside to Richard Smith. That really opened things up for them, and they used Cedric Cobbs as well to kind of finish things off when they got inside the red zone. And there is a new quarterback, Sean.
Matt Jones will play, in all likelihood, the rest of the game. Tough to keep your job if you're Sohan. 3 for 3, go right down the field. Lead them to a field goal, but out he comes, as was the plan. Jones throws complete to George Wilson. Jones playing with a sore shoulder. He does very little throwing during the week. He said if we practice 5 days, I probably throw 2 or 3 at the most. Very good rusher, as the numbers tell you. Averages 7 yards per carry. As Rod said earlier, can run a sub 4.40, and that's at 6'6", 235 pounds. He's also thrown 18 touchdown passes this year. Not a good looking ball there. Off target and off balance as he threw it in the direction of Stephen Harris.
You know, for a guy who's been the starter, you would think he'd be a little bit upset by not being the starter in this ballgame. But he is so laid back. He's just Mr. Whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen a more laid-back guy than Matt Jones. We sat and talked with him. I've covered these guys the last couple of years. He just nothing phases him. Nothing affects him at all.
Quarterback close in college football. It's Brad Smith.
Yeah,
that might be the
that's
most
true.
Laid-back quarterbacks we've ever encountered. Jones. Houston Nutt calls him the best sandlot player in America. He's at his best when he improvises. A flag thrown back in the backfield. This is likely going to come back.
Yeah, it's going to come back.
Washington made the tackle with help from Brian Smith. The Sun Belt Conference officiating crew. Walter Davenport, the referee.
You know, and this one is going to come back. But one thing, Rob, we have to keep an eye on is how quickly Matt Jones bails out. He's in the pocket, looking for the play, looking downfield.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
Well, that was interesting. But how quickly he will bail out of a play, how quickly he'll go through his progressions if he goes all the way through or if he starts to scramble because he has a lot of confidence in his legs.
I can tell you right now, he's going to bail out quickly.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to do one read and get going because he believes in his ability. I mean, he really does. You saw that move at the end of the run, 6'6", 235, and he does a nice pirouette around the defensive back. So he's not going to hang in the pocket too long.
Looked like he was going to go under center and then retreated back into the shotgun on 3rd down and 14. And there he goes again. He's tripped up short of the first down by Terrence Curry. About 5 yards short. Jones has 7 runs this season of 20 or more yards. He's had 6 career 100-yard rushing games. Has rushed for more than 1,800 yards in his career.
You know, and it's worked certainly to a point, but I really think the coaches would like him when he starts to run to maybe look downfield to make a play before he crosses the line of scrimmage. But again, he's, you know, still learning his way through, still more of a runner than a thrower, no doubt.
Jacob Skinner, true freshman punter from Texarkana, Texas, averaging just under 41 yards per punt. A very short kick, and it takes a bad bounce for Arkansas. It'll be down near the 50-yard line. Just a 21-yard punt. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl comes your way Friday at 4:30 Eastern Time. An ACC-SEC matchup between the Clemson Tigers and the Tennessee Volunteers. The Vols boasting that balanced offense behind Casey Clausen.
I'll tell you one thing, Cedric Houston's really come on the last couple of ball games for Tennessee.
Yeah. Charlie Whitehurst running the show there for Clemson.
Smith throws a little bit too high as he rolled out on 1st and 10, looking for Darius Outlaw. He was well covered by Tony Bua.
You know, we haven't seen the bread and butter play from Missouri. We've not seen the quarterback counter. We haven't seen their second favorite play, a quarterback draw or a quarterback read. We haven't seen any of that with him running the ball yet.
Arkansas knows the most dangerous set is when they see Brad Smith in the shotgun. That's when he keeps the ball the most.
A deep handoff to Abram. And Zach's tackled by Aaron Dixon. At the 43-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Missouri.
Mike, when you look at this Arkansas defense and you see these linebackers weigh about 210, 215, 217, you figure you can pound them if you go straight at them. And you want to make sure you know where Tony Bua is, number 22. If he's up close, he's playing a linebacker spot.
Here's what we were expecting from Smith, but Arkansas ready for it. Jeb Huckabee with help from Caleb Miller at the bottom of the pile. No gain on the play, and Missouri will punt.
Well, what you're going to see normally in this defense, because they're undersized, is what you talked about, Rod, is you're going to see penetration. You're going to see linebackers up, try and penetrate to not let the quarterback get going, because a lot of times it takes a little bit for that play to get going.
Brock Harvey's had a disappointing year after a good year last year, but that's a beauty down inside the 2-yard line by Michael Harden, a 42-yard punt that pins Arkansas back near the 1. With Harvey punting this year, they're just 114th in the nation in net punting after being 19th last year. One of the few disappointments to this season for Missouri. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, you guys are talking about how Matt Jones, kind of an emotionless player. You know, earlier in the season, you know, he would sit in the back of the team area near the quarterback phone and basically just isolate himself from the squad. Coach Nutt moved the phone up to the team bench area and had a sign reading "quarterback sit here" placed on the bench at one time. Now he's around his teammates, more involved mentally in the game, and they think he's better like a 6th man, like a John Havlicek coming off the bench.
And that's why he doesn't start. He gives them a little bit of a spark. Good throw and nice catch along the sideline by Richard Smith. Got a foot in bounds for a 16-yard gain.
That's an excellent catch by Smith, an All-American long jump and triple jumper. So you know he can work the feet a little bit. He works the magic here on the sideline. Pass going wide. He keeps him down. What a great job getting that right. Watch the right foot down come second. Boom. Right there. Excellent job of footwork.
Smith's already graduated from the University of Arkansas with a degree in kinesiology. 134 career receptions now. Cobb's got belted down, but he's near another first down. A.J. Kincaid gave him a pretty good pop.
We talked to Cedric Cobbs yesterday about Matt Jones and his relationship with them. We said, you know, Jones is pretty laid back. He's kind of whatever all the time. And Cobb's, yeah, I know. We're not really used to it. We'd like to see him more fired up, but hey, that's just the way he is. And Cobbs is a hard-nosed guy. He gets after it all the time.
The only thing Matt Jones gets fired up about is PlayStation.
That's
when he plays it and he loses.
Really gets him agitated when he loses at PlayStation. Cobbs said he's so soft-spoken that sometimes Cobbs can't hear the play in the huddle. Cedric has a first down on 2nd and a yard. He got out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Xavier Jackson made the tackle for Missouri.
But as you said at the top, Rob, this is an excellent 1-2 punch in Jones and Cobbs. The third time, I guess, in history this year, we've had a 1,500-yard passer and a 1,000-yard rusher. Last year, Matt Jones did it with Fred Talley. So he's done it this year with Cobbs. It was done one other time. So it's a nice 1-2 punch here.
38 yards rushing on 9 carries for Cobbs. They stick with him. Nice cut back to the inside. He's out to the 41, a gain of 7 more. David Overstreet made the tackle. 1,500-yard passer and 1,000-yard rusher in the same season. This is the 3rd time it has happened. It also happened last year with Jones and Fred Talley. This year Cobbs over 1,200 yards now in his performance tonight. And Jones has thrown for about 1,900 yards with what he's done this evening. On 2nd and short, the first down picked up by Corey Birmingham, a converted wide receiver. Is now their 3rd-string tailback, junior from Atlanta, Texas.
Pretty good block that time by Zach Tubbs, and you saw they're giving him a little bit of help over there on that side. Jason Peters, big tight end, is lining up to his side an awful lot. That's a pretty big side over there, but 650 pounds or something?
Close to 700 pounds, those two guys. It's unbelievable.
Birmingham stays in as the running back. Jones throws, and it is caught. Terrific catch by Stephen Harris. He paid the price for it as Nino Williams gave him a pretty good lick at the 40-yard line. But it's a gain of 13 and another first down for Arkansas.
Excellent job of hanging on to the ball. You know you're going to get hit when you're coming over the middle. He hangs on. Here comes Nino Williams with an excellent hit trying to separate the man from the ball. But he hangs on to it, moves the sticks, first down. Nice throw, nice catch.
Cobbs back on the field now. As we took down to 1 minute left. High snap. Jones manages to play it and throw it away. It looked like a disaster. But Jones showing his tremendous athleticism as he deflected that high snap up in the air and then caught it out of midair while running away from the line of scrimmage.
Good thing he's 6'6", and right after this game, he's going to start playing on the basketball team, so we know he's got some hops to him.
Oh, you can see his athleticism on that play, and we saw it earlier. I mean, he is incredibly talented, great balance for a guy who's 6'6", and he runs incredibly well.
Second and 10. On the delay. Birmingham again inside the 30 with a first down. Tackled by Jason Simpson. 13 more for Birmingham.
Excellent rush, excellent blocking. That's all offensive linemen blocked back and just kind of caved the defensive line down for Missouri and gave Birmingham a great hole to run in.
So far, Zach Tubbs on that right side has done okay.
Well, nice job.
And a good job of lead blocking, too, by Brandon Kennedy. In for Mark Pierce. Cobbs showing his power. Driving for a couple of additional yards. Down to the 22-yard line. Quincy Wade made the tackle with help from Nino Williams.
Cobbs is ending his career here, and we talked about the career he's had, and we'll get into it more, but he also knows tonight, while he's ending this, he's showcasing himself for that next level, for the NFL. 225, about a 4.3, 4.4 guy. He's averages 18 yards on touchdown runs this year, so you know he certainly wants to show his wares a little bit here for the Scouts.
And if that doesn't work out, he's thinking about a career in acting.
There you go.
Drama major. Big fan of Will Smith and Eddie Murphy. Would like to follow in their footsteps. End of the first quarter. Missouri leads, but Arkansas is on the move. top running teams in the nation going head-to-head, and each having success running the football in the first quarter. Missouri leads 7-3. First play of the second quarter. Jones throws a floater over the head of Harris and nearly intercepted by Jason Simpson.
Bad throw there by Jones. He had it.
You think?
Little fake. And almost a little. If he put a little more air under it, it was going to be picked the other way. Not a whole lot of touch right there by the big man.
Well, Jones says that shoulder that is, in his words, loose.
Yeah.
We asked him what's wrong with your shoulder. It's loose.
It's loose. Yeah.
It doesn't really hurt him during the games. It hasn't affected him at all, he says. The Corey Birmingham drives down to the 20. It'll be fourth down and about 2, and a decision for Houston Nutt. Looks like they're going to go for the first down.
You know, but with that, Sean, as we wait and see what they do, you know, you wonder, here's a guy who only practices a couple of times a week. He's not a great throwing quarterback, so you could certainly use the practice. Maybe trying to rehab the shoulder after the season. He's going to play basketball, not really thinking about any surgery at all. So you wonder if the lingering effects of this.
Birmingham, the tailback. Kennedy, the fullback, leading the way on the option pitch by Jones. Good block by Kennedy. And a first down. They converted on fourth down and inches on their opening drive, and now they pick it up on fourth and about 2. Russ Bell made the tackle. Good ball by Houston Nutt, who acts as his own offensive coordinator.
What a good quick read by Jones that time as he got the pressure, made the pitch right away. He recognized it right away as he got the pressure off the edge.
Well, if the fullback Kennedy continues to block like that, they aren't going to miss Pierce at all tonight. Cobb's back in there. He stumbles down inside the 11. Tackled by Jason Simpson, a sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas, from an athletic family. His mother is the basketball coach at the Woodlands, an athletic director in that community just outside Houston.
Well, the big question Arkansas was facing coming into the ball game was whether they could run the ball without their 2 big blockers being in the ball game, Sean Andrews and Mark Pierce. And so far, the subs have done pretty well.
Yep.
Houston wants his troops to have a little bit more urgency as the play clock is down to 1 as Jones took the snap. Look out, he's in traffic, a high throw, and it falls incomplete. Fortunately so for Arkansas. George Wilson did the best he could to rescue a bad throw, but A.J. Kincaid wouldn't let him hang on, and Ville was putting pressure on Jones.
Again, not Jones' forte, hanging in the pocket. He's used to getting out there and making something happen. Here he tries to hang and doesn't get a good throw as he gets hit right as he's trying to make the throw. I like the fact that he tried to stay in there for a moment to make the throw. Just took a bit of a hit as he let go of the ball.
15th play of the drive. They had it for 12 plays on the first drive of the game that yielded the field goal. Play action pass. Jones in trouble. Back beyond the 30, and he throws it up for grabs and out of bounds. It was Quincy Wade, the rover back, coming on a blitz. And Jones retreated 20 yards back behind the line of scrimmage before he was able to throw that one away.
It is never dull when he gets the ball.
Shakes 2 tacklers here.
Well, this shows you what a great athlete he is to handle these 2 guys. But again, as a quarterback, the judgment here, let's get rid of the ball quickly. That ball could have been a problem, and he's trying to get that in play down the sideline.
This Balsero 1 for 1 today. And this one is up and good from 28 yards. Give him that scholarship. 7-6 Missouri. Nearly 2 minutes into the second quarter. Another lengthy drive for Arkansas results in only 3 points. They started at their own 1-yard line, moved at 88 yards, 16 plays, but had to settle again for a Balsero field goal.
A lot of work for a little payoff. Is that what the deal is here? Boy, you're putting all that work into it with those drives. You'd like to hit some pay dirt.
That's sure. Danya Mitchell, fastest man on the Missouri team, 4.29 in the 40. Back for the kickoff. Booted into the end zone. And Mitchell will not show us that blazing speed. We'll show you instead the ESPN game track.
Ryan Soran made the most of his cameo appearance in the opening drive. He was perfect from the pocket and got Arkansas on the board.
Zach Abram did the same thing on their first drive, just bowling balling his way down the field and finishing it off for the score.
Missouri's had the ball for just 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Arkansas with more than 13.5 minutes of possession time, but Missouri in possession will lead. The throw a little bit high to the near sideline from Brad Smith, intended for Sean Coffey.
And I'm a little shocked right here with the drives Missouri's had. One Brad Smith run. One run. I mean, that's, as we look at time of possession now, that certainly has something to do with it. They haven't had the ball an awful lot, but he usually has more carries than that. And in this by then, we haven't seen any from the shotgun position at all.
You complain about a first down pass out of Missouri? Come on.
Quick throw by Smith on target this time. The Marcus James very close to a first down. Marvin Jackson had the coverage.
He'd be the first guy to get all over Missouri about being conservative, and they throw on first down. They're trying to loosen it up a little bit so they get some room.
I don't call the way they run Brad Smith conservative. Not the way they move him around. Not the way it's the counter trays from the shotgun position. It's not the normal running game. Plus, I wouldn't have said anything if he completed the pass. The first one.
On third and less than a yard, Smith keeps and picks it up.
The idea for this Arkansas defense, again, because they're undersized, and you talked about it, Rod, because their linebackers are undersized, some as well as the D-line, is you're going to see as we look at the D quarterback, Dave Womack, is a lot of movement, a lot of stunts with the D-line, a lot of gap shooting by the linebackers, some way to try and keep them off balance a bit.
Whoops. Thompson Umboga, their leading receiver, a little bit anxious to get into the pattern. And those are the things that make Gary Pinkel in particular bristle. First penalty, but his formula for success really lies in what he calls measurable probabilities. Keeping the penalties to the bare minimum, the turnover margin, and they're best in the nation by far in that since Pinkel's been the head coach, and the kicking game. Learned those points of emphasis among many other things from Don James, one of the great coaches of his era at Washington, for whom Pinkel served as an assistant coach. And Coach Pinkel and Coach James remain close and in regular contact. Matter of fact, Coach asked us to say hi to Don James over the airwaves tonight.
Yeah, we saw Pinkel before the ball game, and he said he was thinking about Coach James because James has a birthday coming up, and he wanted to send a birthday wish out to him. And Don James had a tremendous influence on Pinkel.
Pinkel, 51 years old, an Ohio native. Second down and 11. And it's Nash out near the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and 6. He was tackled by Keith Jackson Jr. and Jimmy Beasley. And if you say Jackson on the Arkansas team, you have a good chance of being right, even if you're not sure. They have 6 players with the last name Jackson and 4 Johnsons.
Keith Jr. there, I played with his dad, Keith Jackson, with the Philadelphia Eagles, and we were together with the Dolphins as well. He's here doing radio for Arkansas.
Smith with a lot of time and a receiver. It's Coffey with the first down out to the 50-yard line. Tony Bua made the tackle.
That was a very smart play by Brad Smith. He looked to the inside. He wanted to go in there and then checked off and came back to the outside. You'll see his eyes at the end of that play. He was waiting for Coffey to come out, but he looked inside first for his receiver and did not go there. See him looking inside here, looking for the route, waiting for the crossing route to come across the field.
15-yard gain, first down, Missouri. Nash, the ball carrier again. He's to the 47-yard line of Arkansas.
Well, as we see Brad Smith throw tonight, he's better at that, what you just saw, Rod, than gunning the ball. He doesn't have an extremely strong arm. He places the ball a little more. He aims it a little more than just wings it. And he has a better, I think, touch pass than he does a gun.
Smith works very hard at the throwing. He's frequently at their practice facility, many times by himself, just throwing balls into trash cans or other stationary targets. But there's nobody around to catch for him. Thompson Mboga caught that one, but didn't get very far. One of the Jackson 6 for Arkansas. Eddie Jackson made the tackle.
Great story on that. Gary Pinkel said he was riding his motorcycle home one Sunday night and saw the lights on in the facility in Missouri, so he thought somebody may have left the lights on, so he went in there, and all by himself in the weight room was Brad Smith, at one end, a trash can at the other end, and he was trying to throw balls in there. He had no one else to throw to, so him by himself in the weight room on a Sunday night.
Arkansas comes on a blitz. Smith didn't see it from behind. He lost the football and got it back. Ahmad Carroll came on the corner blitz, and Smith wasn't going to run away from him. Carroll's a track All-American at the University of Arkansas, in addition to his football exploits.
And he uses some of that 10.28 speed to run down Bradley here. Bradley Smith was able to get back to the ball. I don't know how he got back on him, Mike.
Well, I tell you what, you salivate when you're getting to the blind side of a quarterback. Oh!
Snap over the head of Brock Harvey, and rolling toward the goal line. Arkansas will get it near the 2-yard line. Looked like Bo Mosley recovered it. Zach Strom with the errant snap over the head of Harvey. And we mentioned the punting game has been problematic this year for Missouri, uncharacteristically so. And it's one of those measurable probabilities that started to drive Gary Pinkel crazy. Loss of 41 on the play.
Well, Harvey had absolutely no shot at that one. That was all on the snapper, and he knows it. He absolutely knows it. Well, I don't expect the 15-play drive here, Sean. And I think they may hit pay dirt. Maybe. We'll see.
Mark the ball at the 3. And first and goal, Darius Howard with his first carry of the night.
All right, Mike, you're a defensive tackle. What happens when you've got a 320-pound tight end blocking down on you? I mean, that's just got to be a pain. Watch this side. Watch that right there. He's coming on down here. That's 320 pounds coming down on you.
Got to hold your ground. You do. I mean, you have to get down. You have to use leverage. You have to get your shoulder. You got to hold your ground.
Can't do it.
Howard piling down to the goal line. He did not get in. Driven back by C.J. Mosley. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Hold on the pay dirt call, huh? A hold on the pay dirt call. Pinkel hoping his defense can come up with one more stop there, maybe 2 if Arkansas decides to go for it.
In his 3 years, they've moved from the bottom of the pack defensively to the middle. They hope that they're going to continue that progression toward the top. Play action fake. Jones got away.
Oh.
What a move. Touchdown, Arkansas. Zach Vill had the original pressure and couldn't get Jones down on the ground. And then he made the nifty move at about the 3-yard line to get into the end zone.
Zach Vill and Terrence Curry both had their shots right there. Make the play. But for 6'6", 235, this guy's a tough cat to hang on to.
They're going to go for 2.
Oh.
About this during the season, I hate this. Way too early in the game.
It's not the 4th quarter.
Is not an even 7.
I love it. Go ahead.
No.
Go on, go for it. I love it.
Bad deal. You miss it, you play catch up the rest of the night.
There's 3 out of 4 in 2-point conversions. Great idea.
Yep.
There's the 2. George Wilson all alone in the back of the end zone. And Arkansas leads 14-7. Bad snap by Strom set it up. As Arkansas took over the 3, needed 3 plays to get it in, and a memorable 3rd play it was by Jones.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2003 Mainstay Independence Bowl, presented by Mainstay, proud sponsor of the Mainstay Independence Bowl, and in part by Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. And by Singular, the wireless company that fits you best.
One-yard touchdown run by Matt Jones. This time they needed just 3 plays to take advantage of the short field after the bad punt snap. That counts as a fumble lost for Missouri, just the 5th they've lost this year. They are the fewest turnovers in the nation with 11. Carlton's kickoff into the end zone taken by Marcus James. He has a seam. And a fumble, and there's a flag down as well. Missouri got it back as it was recovered by Josh Hibbets.
Oh, did Lawrence Richardson for Arkansas have a chance for the ball? I can't believe he didn't get it. It's going against Missouri, but let me tell you what, they caught a break here with Richardson not getting the ball.
Michael Robinson knocked it out. Missouri has 2 number 10s, Joshua Arnold and Josh Hibbets. I'm not sure which one recovered the fumble.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
They should be happy they just have the ball. It started out, Sean, as you were saying, to be an excellent return as they were fighting over it. But the guy that misses early comes back and makes the hit. There's the ball. There's Richardson. Oh, my gosh, he tried to scoop it, and he lost control of it. Kicking himself.
A little swing pass to Abram. And he gets very little. And then bodies fly. Abram went down. Looked like Bua might have shoved him down.
It was he and Caleb Miller. Caleb Miller, what a piece of work he is. He's a fun-loving guy who plays tough all the time. He's only 220 pounds, but he's one of those guys that you find a place on the football field for him.
Yeah, before the ball game, he was down there slapping hands with the guys from Missouri as he came out. He said he was ready to play and wanted to make sure they were ready to play.
Smith has some running room along the near sideline. Dan goes out of bounds at the 22. Chased out by Caleb Miller, a couple of yards short of the first down.
Well, I have to say, this is not, I did the Missouri-Iowa State game, the last game of their regular season. This does not look like the same offense. I'm not seeing the plays, the planned running plays for Brad Smith that I saw in that game, from the shotgun position, the counter plays, the quarterback draws. They're not running them, and give Arkansas credit as well. They're doing a nice job moving around on defense, filling some gaps.
It's called breaking your tendencies. Running a little different stuff.
They need to get back to their stuff.
And the pass broken up, intended for Marcus James and broken up by Ahmad Carroll. The fumble was recovered by Josh Hibbets, one of the 2 number 10s. And here comes the punting unit. And the pressure on the snapper Strom now after the disaster on the last try.
Think he practiced a few times on the sidelines?
I think all eyes will be on him.
And under pressure, Brock Harvey got it off. Caught on the run by Marvin Jackson. And this has really got to be bothering Gary Pinkel. The punt team frustration continues for Missouri. 14-yard return, and Arkansas is in good shape. Arkansas with the lead and with the ball in great field position to the Missouri 41. Jones collided with Cobbs in the handoff. It still works out for the Hogs. Cobbs inside the 10. Touchdown! The only guy who touched him was the quarterback on the handoff. A 41-yard run.
The confusion may have actually helped, John. The whole side of the line for Missouri just kept going with the fake. And Cobbs did a great job of just cutting back where there was nothing but green pasture.
He's a strong cutback runner. Missouri knew that, but they couldn't help themselves because of the miscue. They overran it.
Here's Balsero for the extra point. And it is good. 96 yards rushing now. And still 6 minutes to go until the half. A big night for Cobbs in progress. 21-7 Razorbacks. Big night in progress for Cobbs. Trev Alberts mentioned during the pregame Missouri's difficulty stopping the run this year. They're 64th in the nation, giving up 156 yards rushing per game, and they've given up 131 on the ground here tonight already. The kickoff down to Marcus James. And he's out to the 30-yard line, dragged down by Marcus Whitmore, an 18-yard return.
Well, you're going to see Scott come with the blitz here, Kinney come up the field, and the whole line get caved down, and the hole opens up on the cutback. Scott, number 9, when he's coming on the blitz, he's got to make that play. He's got to make that play because Kinney, who took his spot on the outside, then had contained. So Kinney's coming down. He's got to make that tackle. He doesn't. You see him there? No, I'm sorry. That's David Overstreet. Overstreet's coming down. He's got to be able to make that play.
Design keeper for Smith. He gets belted forward near the first down marker. Tackled by Clark Moore, who was their starting linebacker earlier in the season. Suffered an injury that took him out of action for a while, and now he's back here in the bowl game.
That's a little bit more of the Missouri offense that you want to see. A quarterback draw to get Smith involved in the offense.
This is the set right here that Arkansas feels is most dangerous to him.
And they're ready for it as Smith did not fake out the Arkansas defense. Caleb Miller showing why he was an all-conference selection at linebacker. 100 or more tackles 3 years in a row for Miller, making his 40th straight start. The senior from Sulphur Springs, Texas, and what a delightful young man. We had a chance to visit with him yesterday. Very religious young man. Went to Honduras a couple of times with an outreach program of Arkansas athletes to work with people who aren't as fortunate in Honduras. There's a flag down. The throw intended for Darius Outlaw. Ahmad Carroll had the coverage and might have drawn the flag as well.
Yeah, he's going to get the flag, but boy, I tell you, this kid's a talented corner. Got a little tied up a little too much there, it looks like, from the referee's vantage point. As you mentioned, Sean, a sprinter, incredibly fast, loves to come up and play right in your face.
Pass interference on the defense. It's a spot foul. Automatic first down.
5'11", 190, pretty good size. Keeps that left hand out there.
Wow.
You know, that's kind of back and forth. I mean, not a big fan of those calls, quite honestly, when they're both kind of trying to fight for it a little bit.
On the subject of officiating,
yeah,
you know, the ACC with all this maneuvering might have become the best conference in football, college football. But their officiating better get a lot better, or it's going to drag down that league. Officiating again today in the Music City Bowl was dreadful with an ACC crew. Smith, after a couple of fakes, has a man, a high throw, but it's still caught for a first down to the 35-yard line. Good catch by Darius Outlaw, the former quarterback who moved to wide receiver prior to last season.
Darius Outlaw is going to ask Mr. Smith to get the pass a little lower next time. Kind of floated it, hung it up. And he takes a shot by Beasley, but got it there and moved the chains, Rod.
He did have a passing lane in there. No one obstructing his view, so he could have put that in there on the line.
First and 10, Missouri on the move. Abram rips through a hole. And he's tackled by Caleb Miller at the 27-yard line. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
Big hole there created by senior center A.J. Ricker. You know, he was this close twice to being a Razorback on his initial visit up to Fayetteville. He told Coach Nutt, I'm going to sign with you. Leaving town, he hit the Walmart, bought all kinds of paraphernalia. Then he decided, you know what, I can play earlier and more often at Missouri, so he went there. Then in 2000, when Larry Smith was fired, Ricker felt betrayed. His dad actually called Arkansas to discuss a transfer. That didn't happen, obviously.
A pass dumped off by Thompson on Boga. He said at Christmas he got a bunch of Arkansas gear after he committed while he was in high school, and
ready to go.
So what is all set to go? Instead, he came to Missouri, and tonight is his 47th consecutive start. As he finished his career, he's never missed a game. Said the closest he came was earlier this year when he had the flu.
Not even an injury.
No,
Sickness.
went into the hospital, lost 12 pounds, hospitalized on Wednesday night of game week, but got out of the hospital, got his strength back and played. 47 starts in a row for the would-be Hog. This is dumped off to Clint Matthews, the backup tight end. And he's down short of a first down.
What did Ricker do with all of his Arkansas gear?
Maybe Christmas presents, gave it away or something. I don't know how much he got worn, but I wonder if he got shoes, because he wears a size 18 shoe. And he's a guy that's going to do all he can to get to the next level after tonight's game.
And we head into the East-West Shrine game and the Hula Bowl. Abram short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Zach was tackled by Clark Moore. Nice drive by Missouri as we tick down to 3 minutes left of the first half.
Boy, you talk about a downhill runner. 5'9", about 230. Once he gets his shoulders going, gets those big linemen in front of him, he is very tough to bring down. A low center of gravity, though Arkansas holds a huge edge in rushing, but I'm sure those Missouri numbers will raise up a bit.
On 3rd and short, a deep handoff, and Abram battling just to get back to that orange line of scrimmage. That was a very slow developing play, and Arkansas had plenty of penetration, and Keith Jackson Jr. made the stop. Go for it, you saw Gary Pinkel say into his headset.
Well, you see 22, Tony Bua getting in there, coming off the edge, disrupting the blocking in the backfield, and that created the problem. And again, a 4th down, they're going to go for it. Mike, I think you got to get points on the board when you're behind and you've had a good drive like this. I don't like the call here.
The 15 out of 23 on 4th down this year, and this will depend on the spot, as it always does.
I don't think he got it.
Didn't get it based on where the line judge is running in. Jeremy Harrell leading the defensive surge for Arkansas. I don't think he got it.
That's a big stop for Arkansas there.
Huge. You know, it's not a bad thing to take 3 points in the first half. It's okay.
Obviously, both these teams with great rushing offenses feel that if it's a yard or so, that they should be able to get it.
But, you know, you didn't get it on 3rd down. You only had that yard. You didn't get it on 3rd down. And now
close,
way short.
Yeah. And the lift that you give to Arkansas by missing it, the what if you miss it and they're up 21-7, now they go in at halftime, if they can take care of the last 2 minutes, feeling like they can really dominate the ball game.
Pinkel didn't seem like he hesitated much on that call.
No.
He's a man of his own convictions. There's no doubt about that. He believes in what he does.
Believes in himself. When we asked him about the lack of turnovers, he said quite candidly, that's good coaching.
Yeah.
And he didn't really say it in an egotistical way, but he wasn't afraid to say, hey, this is something we spend a lot of time working on and coaching, and it pays off for us. Cobbs. Missouri does have all 3 of its timeouts left if it wants to try to use them to get the ball back. 1 timeout left for Arkansas as we check in with Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, coming up at halftime, Trev Alberts and Mark May here with me. Trev, team's bringing out 0-3 in style.
Some big finishes in bowl games, and I knew it would happen, guys. The emergence of defense.
And the Outback Bowl coming up will give us another opportunity to see that fantastic freshman quarterback from Florida, Chris Lee.
And we also will tell you about the latest NFL firing and update the Sonic Bowl Mania Challenge. You've got company, McDonough.
Well, it's about time. I was getting a little lonely at the top there. Can't have that much company. I was way ahead and had a big point total on Utah today.
Call timeout. You've got to use your timeouts here.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got 3. What are you going into the halftime with 3 timeouts here? You got 3rd and 7.
Hey, the coach wants it. He's doing it.
Okay.
The players just aren't responding. Pinkel's right there with you.
Wow. Got a little worked up there because I haven't caught you yet, McDonough.
Well, they took
Sonic
about
Bowl.
9 seconds off the clock there before they got that timeout. When the play ended to when they got the timeout.
You think it's me or Gilmore sneaking up on you.
I want to see the
I'm not that close.
standings because I have no idea who is creeping up in my rearview mirror.
We'll get you, my friend. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
That's exactly right. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
I guarantee you I'm creeping up because I've got a lot of creeping to do in that department. We're joined now by Peter Miller of Mainstay. Tell us a little bit about your company's involvement with this bowl game.
Well, we've been sponsoring the bowl for the last 3 years, and we just think it's a great program. You know, the great athletes out here, their competitive nature, you can feel it in the stands. And it's all of us at Mainstay and New York Life Investment Management. You know, we believe in consistency, integrity, and performance, and that's what this bowl game and college athletics is all about.
Two good teams to be associated with.
Two great teams to be associated with.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks.
And these teams have really enjoyed the experience. The folks here in Shreveport do a terrific job. A lot of very interesting activities. Great hospitality from the local community. And as you can see looking around the stadium tonight, very well supported in terms of fan attendance. Fortunately, we don't have a blizzard like they had here 3 years ago when Mississippi State played Texas A&M in a driving snowstorm. 3rd down and 7. They put a second back on the clock. 1 minute left of the half. Jones in trouble. Gets back near the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Excellent penetration across the line by Brandon Barnes. And a timeout called by Missouri. They'll get the ball back. And they'll have one timeout left when they get it back. 21-7 Arkansas. We're back in Shreveport for the final 50 seconds of the first half. Arkansas trying to earn a victory in a bowl game. They've lost their last 3 bowl appearances and 10 of the last 11. The last win was in the 2000 Cotton Bowl. They lost in very disappointing fashion last year in Nashville at the Gaylord Hotel's Music City Bowl to Minnesota. They're about a 9-point favorite in that game. Second punt of the night for Jacob Skinner. First one wasn't very good, and this one is only a minor improvement. Again, it is backspin, and it rolls dead at the 46-yard line. Just a 31-yard punt. Well, we're not done with the great college football action tonight. Capital One Bowl week continues. The Diamond Walnut San Francisco Bowl. For many of you around the country, they'll ring in the new year as Bradley Van Pelt, one of the most exciting players in the country, another one of these dual threat quarterbacks, leads Colorado State against Boston College. And Derek Knight, the 3rd leading rusher in the nation for BC, wrapping up his fine career.
Bradley Van Pelt, he is something. There's a guy that's not afraid to not only run it but stick his head into someone's chest.
Smith throws. That play is going to take a lot of time. A catch made by Thompson on Boga. You think back to that 9 seconds or so they lost before they got their first timeout called. Wow.
They sent one guy. They sent one guy beyond 10 yards down the field on that route. And I think if you're running a 2-minute offense, guys, well, with 15 seconds to go, you got to get at least a couple of guys down the field some. 2 passes for 6 yards, just not going to get it done.
That's just, you can't do that. I mean, not with one timeout left. You know you're going to have to burn it. Either got to get outside or get it down the field to try and move the sticks. You know, this may haunt them, Rod. You said it. You know, take the 3 on the last drive, at least try and get some points on the board. Now they're struggling a little bit to try and get themselves into that position. We'll see if that ends up.
Did you just say I was right?
I said you were proved to be right with that decision.
Okay. That's first time all season.
Are you two going to make a New Year's resolution, maybe just to try to get along in the new year?
No. Why would we want to do that?
It's our last game. Maybe we can head into the new year in the spirit of peace and harmony and tranquility.
New Year resolution? I might start working out again. That might be like.
I think there's a better chance of you guys agreeing on something.
No. That's after, of course, after the post-game meal.
Oh yeah. Can't miss out on the cookies, right?
It's not midnight here, local time.
Forget that. What are we having at halftime?
Load up. 3rd down and 3, and no timeouts left now for Gary Pinkel and the Missouri Tigers. An 8-win season. The highlight, their first win since 1978 over Nebraska. Back in those days, Phil Bradley was the Missouri quarterback and went on to an excellent Major League Baseball career. Three wide receivers out to the right. Smith goes in that direction and throws, and it's broken up.
Well, the long for Mike Matheny is 44 yards, and right now that's out of his range. So your dilemma is, do you try and have him go a longer field goal, or do you go for the first down?
Or just throw it in the end zone, and you leave Arkansas, if you're not successful, with one Hail Mary try if they want it from their own 39-yard line. They probably can't throw it in the end zone from there anyway if you're Arkansas, so take the shot if you're Missouri.
Yeah, 10 seconds is enough to run a play if you get out of bounds.
Or in the middle, if it'll stop the clock while they do the change and then kill. 27-yard line would be a 44-yard field goal after the set.
And the three receivers to the right. They're trying to get to the sideline, and they do. Thompson on Boga out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Now would be a 41-yard field goal. The longest of the season for Matheny's 44. Well, they hesitated for a moment, but now here comes the field goal unit.
And before that, he almost fell down before he even got out of bounds. Would have stopped it just for a moment while they set the chains.
Matheny's had a good year. At one point, he made 9 field goals in a row before he hit the crossbar against Kansas State on a 62-yard try. Santino Riccio, the holder, threw it up for grabs. It was picked off on the final play of the half. Intercepted by Tom Crowder, a special team standout. I couldn't tell from our vantage point if that was a bad snap or a design fake. But whatever it was, it's a messy ending to the half for Gary Pinkel.
Well, they seem to be rushing out there on the late call to get it.
That's a fake.
That's a fake.
Well, the wide receiver to the outside was 30 yards downfield.
So as Gary Pinkel ponders what might have been, we check in with Rob Stone and Houston Nutt.
Coach, how have you contained Missouri quarterback Brad Smith so far?
Guys are running and chasing the football. We know we got a great athlete on our hands. We got to continue. We got a long way to go. Just keep chasing him.
New starting fullback, new starting right tackle on offense. How have they fared?
Guys done a great job. They're playing hard, playing a lot of heart. They just got a long way to go.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Halftime here in Shreveport, the Mainstay Independence Bowl. Arkansas with a 21-7 lead over Missouri. Now let's head back to the studio for the Dodge halftime report. Here's Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, Arkansas appears to be intent despite the problems that they have with Sean Andrews and company not making the trip. Right here, 21-7 right now with the lead. Glad to have you with us on the Dodge halftime report. Sean mentioned a little bit of a sloppy ending for Missouri, but they've got a basic problem too, Mark.
They've got to stop the offense of Arkansas, particularly their running game. What they've been able to do is to line up with that big offensive line, even without Sean Andrews. They're using Jason Peters, a 6'5", 320-pound tight end out there, do some smash blocking on the outside. That's opening up some big holes for Cobbs and company.
And you mentioned, I've been watching this Missouri defense, Mark, and if you look at them, it's not that they don't have the athletes. I'm looking at the technique. So many times they're not in position. They're getting their shoulders turned, and when you have a guy like Cedric Cobbs, Reese, who has the ability to see a hole and cut, he's finding that hole. And I'm telling you right now, Matt Jones in the passing game in the second half, there will be a big passing play.
Another prolific offensive day for one guy in a bowl game and some of the best defense we've seen in the postseason. Hogs up by 2 touchdowns.
This halftime report brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
21-7, Arkansas with a 2-touchdown lead in the Mainstay Independence Bowl. Cedric Cobbs has been running wild. We'll see if Brad Smith can get the Tigers back into it in the second half. One SEC team doing well. Auburn, the first SEC team in action against Wisconsin. Badgers, we don't need no stinking Badgers. We got a big hat. Jim Sorgi. Look at Lee Evans go over Carlos Rogers. Game tied at 14. Remember when Lee Evans went over Carlos Rogers? Well, maybe not now.
Great play by Carlos Rogers, and Will Herring right there picks it off. Huge play for Auburn.
Brownie Brown takes the ball, spins, gets up the middle, uses his hand, but gets across the goal line. Auburn up 21-14.
This was the story of the day for Auburn. Pressure defense on Sorgi. T.J. Jackson recovers the fumble. Cadillac had 2 touchdowns. Auburn 28-14, winning in Nashville. The Axel Liberty Bowl, Southern Mississippi and Utah. Second quarter, this was a defensive struggle. Dustin Allman to the Golden Eagles, hit by Morgan Scalley. Lewis Powell would recover the fumble. 2 Utes getting together.
Did you say Utes?
Yes, Your Honor. I said Utes. Here's another Ute. Brandon Warfield, 91 yards on the day. The touchdown there made it 7-0. And turnovers, the key. Again, Southern Mississippi put it on the ground 4 times. Utah recovered all 4. Scally taking this one back 17-0. Urban Meyer's team finishes with 2 straight shutouts, and there was no snowstorm to blame in this one. 17-0 the final. Wells Fargo Sun Bowl down in El Paso, Oregon, and Minnesota. Well, what a day for Sammy Parker. 16 catches, 200 yards, and his second touchdown of the day from Kellen Clemens. 24-21 Oregon.
Late in the third quarter now, Lawrence Monroe. You see the little end around here, takes a handoff. Nice blocking by the left side of the offensive line, then the speed to get in the end zone. 22 yards for the touchdown.
The Englishman they call Winston Churchill. Reese Lloyd for the game. History will be kind to him, for he intends to write it for Glenn Mason. 31-30. Minnesota wins for the 10th time this season, the 1-point victory, and now the ESPN Bowl Challenge Cup. The Western Athletic Conference, 1 game left. It's Tulsa against Georgia Tech. Many of these conferences have been eliminated. If Missouri does not rally in the second half against Arkansas, the Big 12 will be eliminated.
Stop it.
That humanitarian bowl that I mentioned, Tulsa and Georgia Tech, will be the WAC against the ACC. Potentially, that could decide the Bowl Challenge Cup much the same way. Okay, not exactly the same way that the national championship game did a year ago.
Shouldn't the BCS games be weighted more?
No.
Okay.
Because the level of competition,
wondering.
the playing field is fairly level there.
You know what, Reese, guys, in a Bowl Challenge Cup and all this series of bowls, it's turned out to be an offensive performance after offensive performance. Today, the lasting memory that I have is great defense. It was great to see finally. How about Auburn's defense? Reggie Torbo had 7 tackles, 3.5 sacks, the sort of pressure that Auburn put on Jim Sorgi all day long. And then Utah. I thought the best defensive performance so far of bowl season was Kyle Whittingham, the defensive coordinator of Utah, doing a terrific job. The pressure they put on Southern Miss's quarterbacks was ridiculous. I haven't seen a defensive effort like that in a long time, Mark.
My lasting memory of the day is Minnesota. The way that they played against Oregon today, and the way that Glenn Mason was so happy at the end of this football game. This is the first time that this football team won 10 games in a season since 1905, almost a century ago. And just remember, if you think back, this Minnesota football team took Michigan, the Big Ten champions, right down to the wire. Without that fourth quarter collapse, this team would only have 1 loss on the season.
Should have won that game. No question about it for Minnesota, but a great way to finish. And Sammy Parker, 16 catches, 200 yards. He was the game MVP, and it was a Sun Bowl record. We will continue on the Dodge halftime report. Zach Abrams, you know, he's not the hitter, he's the hit-E, to borrow from our buddy Chris Spielman. But Mizzou still down 21-7. This will get you beat. You must be sound in the kicking game. Got to execute the snap. That one hurt Missouri. Arkansas with a 21-7 lead in the Mainstay Independence Bowl. Not only can you ring out 2003 with the ESPN family of networks, we'll let you ring in 2004 as well. The Diamond Walnut San Francisco Bowl starts over on ESPN2 at 10:30 Eastern Time. Mark Malone and Sean Salisbury will be there for Colorado State and Boston College.
College football fever has come to the city of San Francisco. The Boston College Eagle Marching Band entertaining college football fans from across the country at Union Square as we get ready for the Diamond Walnut San Francisco Bowl, coming to you from Pac Bell Park, Colorado State and Boston College. Mark Malone along with Sean Salisbury. We've got an interesting game for you here later tonight. A couple of teams with contrasting styles. You've got the Wild Mountain West Conference, Colorado State, and the Big East. Boston College, a much tamer brand of football.
Yeah, tame but physical. It's wacky, as you said, and finesse versus physical. And on defense, Boston College is going to say, here's where we're going to be, try to block us. On offense, they're going to give the ball to Derek Knight and let that 315-pound average up front offensive line as far as weight goes run you over. Knight is close to being the Boston College all-time single-season rushing leader. He's explosive, Mark, with great quickness. They're going to have a hard time trying to keep up with this young fella here. And on the other side, Bradley Van Pelt. He not only runs the ball with great efficiency, but he also has improved in his passing game this year, and he gives them that, oh my gosh, where are you going to deploy these guys? They'll get in the gun, they'll get under center, do a lot of different things that Boston College is going to have to deal with.
Of course, Van Pelt has only really thrown the ball in 2 practices after undergoing hand surgery. He broke his hand in the regular season finale against UNLV. Some question as to whether or not he'll be able to go the whole game tonight. Of course, we're going to have it for you later on tonight from Pac Bell Park, the Diamond Walnut San Francisco Bowl, Colorado State and Boston College.
All right, guys, we'll look forward to that. The Big East is yet to win a postseason game. Well, it was just a year ago that Bill Callahan had his team in the Super Bowl, and now he is looking for work. The Oakland Raiders rid themselves of their head coach. Bill Callahan, things sort of fell apart after the Super Bowl season, lost touch with the team, cleaned out his office a few days ago, so Bill Callahan is out in Oakland. But in San Diego in baseball is David Wells. The former Yankee has signed a one-year deal to pitch for the Padres. Padre general manager Kevin Towers calling Wells the perfect big game pitcher as San Diego moves into its new ballpark. We'll see how Boomer does without that whole Babe Ruth aura surrounding him in Yankee Stadium. We'll continue on the Dodge Halftime Report after this.
This halftime report brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Double C, Cedric Cobbs, a single yard away from a C note. 99 yards in the first half, and Arkansas running over Mizzou in the first 30 minutes, 21-7. At the break. Capital One Bowl Week rolls on with the Outback Bowl. New Year's morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The Iowa Hawkeyes try to beat Florida to be the third straight loss for Florida in a bowl game in her home state against a Big Ten team. Holly Rowe has a look ahead.
We're here in Tampa, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it's Iowa and Florida that hope to sail off with a win to start the new year. The big news here in Tampa is the resignation of former Florida coach Steve Spurrier from the Washington Redskins. We asked the current Gator coach Ron Zook how that affects him and the team.
As I said many times, Coach Spurrier is the #1 Gator. He always follows the Gators, and he always knows what's going on here. I know this, Coach has got a plan, and he knows what he's going to do, and he'll be successful.
For Florida, the plan is simple. They must stay the course with their freshman quarterback, Chris Leak. He's appearing in his first bowl game ever as a true freshman, but he has been solid and unflappable. He was named the SEC Freshman of the Year, completing over 60% of his passes in leading Florida to a 6-2 record as a starter. Now for Iowa, they have revamped their bowl preparation. Last year, they were embarrassed in the Orange Bowl against USC. So this year, everything was different. The players didn't go home for Christmas. They stayed here as a team, and they are focused and efficient in practice. For the Hawkeyes, the game plan must include senior tailback Fred Russell to establish the running game. Russell was the second leading rusher in the Big Ten this year with over 100 yards a game and over 1,000 on the season. He is quick, elusive, and difficult to see behind that big Iowa offensive line. It's a Big Ten SEC showdown here in Tampa.
All right, Holly, we'll look forward to it. We talked about this when Steve Spurrier resigned at Washington. Certainly next year, if anything goes wrong for the Gators, the Gator fans will be up in arms with the old ball coach out there. Since the start of the 2002 season, no team has more wins against top 12 opponents away from home than the 5 owned by Ron Zook's Gators.
You know what, Reese, I think you mentioned it, hit it right on the head. I think you look at these two coaches. I think these two coaches did the best coaching of anybody in college football this season when you look at it in its entirety. First of all, you mentioned Ron Zook taking the young quarterback in Chris Leak. I think it's obvious the development that Chris Leak has made in that young Gator team. And how about Kirk Ferentz on the other side, losing Brad Banks, losing his tight end, Dalek Clark, losing all kinds of seniors. 4 of his offensive linemen go on to the NFL. I think these two coaches, Mark, did a great job of getting their team to a New Year's Day Bowl.
And I want to tell Ron Zook that he should have nothing to worry about. He shouldn't be looking over his shoulder at Steve Spurrier. He shouldn't worry about what the fans say. This is your football team. You put your imprint on this football team. If you look at the Florida Gators recruited over the last half a decade, they just did not recruit the quality athletes. You brought them in the last 2 years. These are your recruits. These are your kids. Just make sure you win next year and start winning some of those big games at home.
That would help. They don't like to lose in the swamp.
He made it nice.
Hey, let's check in on the Sonic Bowl Mania Challenge. Sean McDonough continues to lead the way.
He could fall.
Yeah, but I've moved into second place. But you know what the most important thing?
I just want to make sure that people know that there are other people below me. They just stopped at number 13.
Yeah, but listen to this. We're just glad we don't have Jason Ritzenballer in our group. He's in a group called the Syracuse Orange. He has not missed a game, guys. He's got over 300 points.
Jason,
He'll be destroying McDonough at this point.
What does he know?
He apparently knows everything. He hasn't missed anything yet. He's probably on Arkansas tonight. Second half's coming.
Bowl week. Across America, 'tis the season to celebrate college football. From city to city, The passion is unrivaled. Coast to coast and beyond, the nation comes alive for Capital One Bowl Week.
And the atmosphere certainly alive here at the Mainstay Independence Bowl in Shreveport. Big crowd on hand to watch two 8-4 teams go head-to-head for the first time since 1963. And this border battle, it's Arkansas by 2 touchdowns at the half. Certainly the bad snap was a big play in that half, but Arkansas did a very nice job throughout the half running the ball.
They ran it very well, and you heard Trev Alberts talk about that. I think the problem for Missouri is, will they go against their nature and bring an 8th man into the box? They don't really like to play that pressure style of defense, but they may have to do that to stop the run. That's going to open up a deep ball.
Well, Arkansas is doing a great job running the ball right through Missouri right now, and on the other side of that, with Missouri's defense, let's talk about their offense. Run Brad Smith. He's run the ball 6 times. Use this guy a little more. He's your best offensive threat. I don't think they've used him near enough.
And when they have tried to run him, Arkansas has done an excellent job. He has just 7 yards rushing. Arkansas to kick off. David Carlton will kick it. Marcus James and Stradania Mitchell are back deep for Missouri. And it's Mitchell with the sub 4.340 speed. And he's chopped down in the open field. A nice tackle by Marvin Jackson. As we look at the ESPN game track.
Well, with Brad Smith, it's been passing 11 of 15. Nice percentage. Only 6 times he's carried the ball. He's made some nice throws, but they're not in the position that where he needs to throw that much.
You want some running? How about Cedric Cobb? Yep. There's your rushing right there. 99 yards in the first half, and the Missouri defense is searching for answers. How do they get an extra guy, an extra safety up front to help contain him?
From the 31-yard line, Zach Abram, the ball carrier. He turns the corner and gets yanked out of bounds at the 38-yard line by Caleb Miller. I have the answer, by the way, for Reese's question and Mark and Trev about the young man who apparently has picked every game right so far in the Sonic Bowl Challenge. I think Reese answered the question himself. He goes to Syracuse University.
In other words, he's not paying attention.
The premier academic institution in America.
Oh, so they can pick games. That's great. You get credits for that?
As we say in Boston, he's wicked smart. That's why he's at Syracuse.
There you go.
Smith finally with some running room for the first time tonight. And he has his longest gainer of the night for 20 yards and a first down to the Arkansas 42.
Well, here you go. That's what I'm talking about. Dangerous with the shotgun. Coming up, they'll let the linemen are going to work in front of him. Do the pull. He makes the fake. You see the lineman out in front. It's just a counter trey with something the Redskins did for years. You get the lineman pulling out, except you have an extra blocker now because your quarterback's carrying the ball.
Exactly.
Smith in trouble and sacked. Second sack of the night for Arkansas. Jeb Huckabee with the sack. He spent 2 years at inside linebacker before he moved to defensive end.
Good job there. You know, Brad had some time. He needed to make a decision a little earlier, and good job by Huckabee. But with Brad, and that's what Houston Houston Nutt was worried about, Rod, was the fact that they had an extra blocker because the quarterback's running the ball.
Here's Abram. Good work by the offensive line and nice running by Abram. He slammed into Tony Bua at the 24-yard line. A first down and a nifty run of 19 for Abram.
Not to beat a dead horse, but if you kick the field goal right before half, 21-10, and now you've got momentum early third quarter, you're starting to put pressure on Arkansas. But they have to score on this drive now.
This has been dead longer than Secretariat.
Oh, let me tell you, you keep getting hit by Abram like that, you're going to be in a bad way. I don't know how he got out of there.
And he managed to squirt ahead inside the 20, the 17-yard line. Eddie Jackson made the tackle.
Well, he just kind of meandering down the line behind all his big hogs. They're staying on blocks. Arkansas not getting off blocks. Again, undersized, got to get that extension with the hands and get off those blocks.
It's a zone blocking scheme. It's that zone read play for the quarterback instead of with the back.
Impressive opening drive here in the second half. Damian Nash gets away. Inside the 10, it'll be first and goal, Mizzou from the 6. Ahmad Carroll chopped him down. A gain of 11. They're getting yards in big chunks on the ground now.
A very good read by Brad Smith in this play. He's reading right here. In goes up the field. He's going to give the ball to Nash. He gets it going up the field. You see that? Now he gets it back inside to Nash. Had he had the end coming down, he would have kept it and gone outside.
And a great pull and block by Tony Palmer, the left guard, a 300-pound road grader.
Abram, of course, prior to that block by Palmer, he was best known this week for his performance at the welcome party. Both teams got together for one of the social activities, and the entertainment was a hypnotist.
Yeah.
And we talked to players on both sides who said they were very skeptical about hypnotism, but when they saw what Palmer did, he went up on stage. The hypnotist convinced him that he was an exotic dancer. He ripped his shirt off and, among other things, danced right in the lap of a couple of coaches.
Oh, that's just sick. It's just wrong.
And doesn't remember anything about it. Play action pass for Smith. Throws to the back of the end zone, incomplete. Through the hands of his intended receiver, Clint Matthews. It was a little bit high, but it looked like one that Matthews might have been able to haul in.
Yeah, I think Matthews should have hauled that in, and Brad Smith's elusiveness gave him time. Watch the breakdown first by Jed Huckabee. He doesn't go rushing at Brad Smith because he knows he might get juked, so he kind of takes his time going after him, and that gave Brad Smith the time to make that throw, what probably should have been a touchdown.
That's a tough catch, too. That ball is thrown pretty high. You're asking a tight end to get up there and make a great play.
Now it's back to the run with Smith. And it'll be decision time again for Gary Pinkel, as it'll be 4th down and goal from the 1.
You can listen to you this time, Rod?
I'm not saying anything.
Go for this one. Go for the touchdown.
He got behind big Rob Draghi there, but waiting, but there were 2 defenders. Doing it again.
Yes, they are. I was surprised the way they were running the ball, guys, that they went to that pass play on 2nd down.
Yep.
I mean, you had 3 more shots to run it in from the 5-yard line. You threw 1 away, so now you have 2 plays from the 5.
You're in trouble here. There's 4 seconds on the play clock. You're going to have to rush, and that's never a good thing.
Play action pass. Smith throws, intercepted at the goal line. And then belted down was Lorenzo Robinson.
I don't mind going for it, but you know what? You're rushing. Take the time out. Take the time out there. If you're ever going to burn one, that's the time to burn one. Instead of rushing to the line, rushing to get the play off, take your time. It's an important play.
What's wrong with being patient? If you kick a couple field goals, it's 21-13.
Yep.
Another turnover by Missouri. Good pursuit by Caleb Miller. Forced Smith to have to throw it up for grabs. Well, a frustrating night for the Missouri Tigers so far. A bad snap on a punt led to a touchdown for Arkansas. They've been stopped twice now on key 4th downs. They had a fake field goal that didn't work out. And they're trailing 21-7. Sean McDonough, Mike Golick, Rod Gilmore, Rob Stone. Our producer Scott Matthews, director John McDonough. And our ESPN crew. Hope you're enjoying the Mainstay Independence Bowl from Shreveport. Cedric Cobbs lost it, but they blow it dead as it popped out after he hit the ground at the 14-yard line. Well, you know, time to pick a topic and discuss. The topic is
topic is
4th down.
Yeah, I know, Rod, you don't like it either time they did it. They could have 6 more points right now. And while I can understand that, my point is, okay, you decided to do it. Once you decide to do it, then you rush. I mean, you rushed everything instead of taking your time when you need the yard. As Arkansas, they move the chains and get the 1st down.
Corey Birmingham, the ball carrier, out to the 21-yard line.
Well, my point on it is it's a 4-quarter game. I mean, give yourself a chance to get to the 4th quarter. Don't keep sending the message that we got to win it or lose it right now, because that's a bad message to your team. Even then, in the 3rd quarter, you kick that ball, you still have a shot. You can still keep selling it. Right now, you are way behind. You got to have a big play.
Does anybody want rebuttal time, or can we move on?
No, Sean, I was going to say, you made the point that as soon as you went for it the other time, that you were going to go for it this time.
They went for it the last time. Now they had to go for it, try to get within one score. There's Jones finally getting free after Smith got loose on a 20-yard run on the possession for Missouri that preceded this one. Jones responds with a 19-yard gallop of his own. Calvin Washington made the tackle.
You watch him run sometimes, you just wonder how he does it, Rod, you know?
He's a long strider.
He is a long strider. Again, a 4.3 40 at 6'6", 235.
You know, and he loves basketball.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit more than football.
I mean, he'd rather play basketball, given the choice. Assuming he wants to do anything. When we talked to him, he didn't seem like he was in a big rush to go do anything. You know, so much as Cobbs carries and gets dropped for loss has been made about his demeanor. Rob Stone told the story. You guys talked about the phone that they put close to the bench, so at least there wouldn't be the perception that he wasn't mingling with his teammates. But when we talked to Houston, he said his teammates know that Jones cares about winning. He cares about them. So just because he's laid back, and it bothers Houston sometimes too. He said, you know, I'd like to see a little more urgency sometimes, but it's not because the young man doesn't care.
I think that's right. A lot of coaches will make that mistake that all guys need to be rah-rah all the time, but there are certain guys who just have a laid-back attitude, and it doesn't mean that they aren't in it together with everyone else.
On second down, Jones escapes again, has the first down, and gets pulled out of bounds along the far sideline. Taken down by Zach Vill, but it's a gain of 15 on the run for Jones.
Well, this I like. He just stands in the pocket here. It starts to cave. He steps up and around. Again, it's Missouri's inability to make the tackle when they get there. You can see the pressure, not making the tackle, really just kind of pawing at him. He steps up. He knows where that rusher came from, so he knows there's a lane outside. And again, when he starts to move, he's going to run. He is not looking down the field anymore to throw the ball.
They're across midfield to the 46 of Missouri. With 8:42 left in the third quarter. Cobb straight ahead to the 41. Tripped up by Terrence Curry, who's had a remarkable comeback from major knee injuries. Terrence missed all of 2001 and 2002 after he injured all four ligaments, the major ligaments in his left knee in spring practice in 2001. Just ran into a tight end during a drill. And there were a lot of times when he wasn't sure he'd be able to make it back. He may come back if he gets granted a 6th year of eligibility. He's waiting for that decision from the NCAA, and he'll decide if he wants to come back again next year. One time he was a top prospect coming out of high school, and he's come back to have a very nice year. Flipped ahead to Richard Smith. He lunges but comes up short of the first down marker. Matter of fact, they'll spot him out at the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Henry Sweat made the tackle.
Well, Rod, is this the sandlot we were talking about? Kind of create?
Yes, indeed. And the other thing about it is you watch him make plays like that, you can't say he isn't passionate. He doesn't care.
Oh,
I mean, he's looking to make something happen.
You're right. The players do know that.
Third and 1. Cobb slithers through for the first down. Cedric Cobbs is over 100 yards rushing for the game. James Kinney made the tackle. It's the 7th 100-yard game of the season for Cobbs. That is an Arkansas record, as he has 112 tonight.
Well, he has made Arkansas's offense go, and he's made the Missouri defense pay. You see a lot of missed tackles. You see a lot of yards after contact. He gets touched. He picks up more.
What up, baby? What's up, man? He provided a little bulletin board fodder for the Tigers at the luncheon here yesterday. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Jones dumps it off for Cobbs, and his knee goes down near the 27-yard line. Cedric, while being interviewed during the banquet, and our friends Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman from CBS did a great job hosting the banquet yesterday. Cedric said we'll be celebrating at the casinos here in Shreveport after we win the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, that raised a few of the Missouri eyebrows, and right now he talked the talk, he's walking the walk.
It's not bragging if you can do it.
Isn't that the truth?
Second and 3. They stay with Cedric. And he has the first down. Very nice drive that started back at the 10-yard line. They've advanced inside the 25 of Missouri now.
We talk about tackling and the bowl layoff, and you can see if you're a Missouri fan, your team's having a little trouble with that. Every team struggles with it because of the layoff and the speed factor of going back into a game, Mike.
Right, absolutely. Here's the rushing we were talking about again with Sean Andrews out and Zach Tubbs in on the right side. They've still gone 8 times that way, still more up the middle team, but we wondered if they were going to go away from Zach Tubbs, but they haven't. They stayed pretty balanced with the majority in the middle.
Here's DeCorey Birmingham out of bounds with another first down. I think, guys, we're seeing another reason why Gary Pinkel probably felt he had to go for the touchdowns instead of the field goals. He knows his team is average at best at stopping the run. Now tonight they're facing one of the best running teams in the country that's likely to score more points.
Boy, and they are struggling right now. That's an excellent point. And they've got it. And you, Rod, you said it before. They've got to decide what to do. They bring in another guy up. How much are they going to commit up to the line to try and stop this?
They had a 12-play drive in the first half, a 16-play drive. Here's the 12th of this possession. Jones under duress managed to slither free and completed it for a short gain to George Wilson.
He's Gumby.
We talk about the extra man in the box, and Missouri very clear about their philosophy when they met with us and discussed it. You see Jones here just once again create and make another play. A nice catch out there by Smith. But again, they have that model of the Tampa Bay Colts, right. Tony Dungy defense, 2 deep coverage a lot of the time, not loading by guys up playing man coverage.
Second and goal, the deep handoff to Birmingham, and he's run out of bounds for a loss of a yard on the play. James Kinney leading the defensive pursuit for Missouri. He's had an excellent year. Second team all Big 12. Averaging nearly 12 tackles per game to lead their team and finish 14th in the nation.
Yeah, he's got about 1 million tackles. Actually, 141 on the year. I mean, here's a guy that's just always around the ball. 6'1", 235-pounder, plays pretty well in space, moves pretty well from sideline to sideline.
How about the game he had against Nebraska earlier this year? He was huge.
Third down and goal. They're showing blitz. They come on a blitz. Jones throws incomplete. Looking for Wilson, who had his hands on it. It was harassed by the tight coverage from Curry. Jones thought it was a little too tight. He's asking for a flag.
Different than the fade route where you just kind of lay it up there. This he kind of puts on a rope. It was just going to be a stop route for Wilson in the end zone just to turn around and have the ball be there. But Curry has some good coverage, gets that left hand in there.
Fans are booing, but I thought that looked like pretty good coverage.
That was no problem with that.
Really?
Nah. Pretty lenient.
I'm working on you, leaning on you here.
Balsero. I'll tell you what, if they don't give him a scholarship after he's 3 for 3 in field goals tonight, let's start a collection for him.
Yeah, how about it?
You can make a contribution with your Sonic Bowl Mania winnings.
Hey, it hasn't happened yet, but they are starting to engrave the trophy. Back in a moment.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2003 Mainstay Independence Bowl, presented by Mainstay, proud sponsor of the Mainstay Independence Bowl, and in part by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Beautiful night in downtown Shreveport, along the banks of the Red River in northwest Arkansas, part of the country they call the Arklatex, where Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas all come together. And it's Arkansas playing in its neighboring state, leading Missouri by 17. About a 6.5-hour drive, though, from the campus up there in Fayetteville in northwest Arkansas. Marcus James dragged back by Lawrence Richardson. 24-yard return, 5:14 left in the third. Tigers on offense, needing points. Welcome back to Shreveport, the Mainstay Independence Bowl. Missouri trailing by 17 with the ball first and 10 from its own 30-yard line. Damian Nash ahead for 3. Here's Rob Stone.
Gary Pinkel telling his offensive troops, guys, we got to be a little bit more physical and really trying to get Brad Smith more involved offensively, running it and throwing it. They really want to mix it up. One thing for you guys to keep an eye on for Arkansas, starting defensive end Jed Huckabee playing with a sprained left knee. It didn't seem to affect him last defensive stand. He had that great sack, but he is a little bit hobbled. You can see the tape job on him.
Here's Smith. One of his blockers lost a helmet. Smith down at the 40-yard line. There is a flag on the play, and Huckabee, whom Stoner was just speaking, was involved in the tackle. And a penalty against Missouri, a hold to wipe out what looked to be a run that would have yielded a first down.
Yeah, Tony Palmer, the guard, lost his helmet.
Hold on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Second striptease of the week.
Well, Brad Smith, we talked about early in the game not running a whole lot. This is him the last drive, starting to run those again. Designed plays for him, and what worried Arkansas was that there was that extra blocker because of the quarterback carrying the ball, and it started to work a little bit. Again, only 6 carries in the first half, and they really started using him more this half, but the clock at some point is going to start working against this team.
Especially since they like to do it on the ground. It generally takes them a little bit longer to score. They're not a big, quick strike offense. Bo Mosley chased Smith out of bounds. Well short of the first down.
But I'm going to tell you, this Arkansas defense is doing a nice job. That time it was Pierre Brown won't get the tackle, but he's the one who slowed Brad Smith up and made him go more east and west so he could be pushed out of bounds. Again, it's more of an undersized crew, but what they're doing a good job is staying in front of the running backs and not letting them go downhill.
And one of the things that they did was they took Tony Bua from the free safety spot and moved him into a linebacker spot for this game when they're in their base defense.
3rd and 13. A lot of time for Smith. Lofts it, and this will be close. Thompson on Boga says he has it, and it looks like the officials concur with the spot of the football after the 6th catch of the night for Amboga.
Love that yellow line. It really helps.
They ought to put it right on the field so the players can see it.
Just a moving yellow line, so you know where you got to go to. A beam?
A beam. You can beam it across the field so they can see. For the people at home who've never been to the stadium, the players do not see that yellow line. It's only on
beam?
TV.
Don't know if they have the power, Captain.
Beam. Beam it across. Beam it up, Scotty. Do something. Stretch a rope across there.
Stretch a rope.
You got the first down. Smith. Got a nice late block to buy him that extra time, and the catch. And then it's not a catch. He had it, Sean Coffey, but it did not percolate. After a long game of first down. My resolution's not going to be not to say anything like that again.
Yeah, we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Boy, Coffey had this one.
He was never open on the play.
No.
But Smith threw it anyway. And the ball, because he's so tall and leaps so high, he's got a chance at this.
Oh, boy, catch it.
6'5", 220. What Brad Smith said is, my guy's tall. I have faith he can go up and get it. Coffey should have had it.
Smith pulls it out of the belly of Nash, waits patiently for the blocks, and goes out to the 47-yard line. A lot of their success in the running game this year should be credited to this very good offensive line. For the most part, 4 senior starters and the sophomore Palmer. 2 first-team all-conference players in Ricker and Draghi, and they're a good group.
They are a good group, and even in 2nd and 10 there, Houston Nutt told us they're still understand that Missouri will run a 1st and 10 type of an offense and still have no problem running the ball because of the confidence in Brad Smith, Zach Abram, and that offensive line.
Again, they take a lot of time in the huddle and have to go quickly. Nash has the first down, stays on his feet, and is finally tackled by Tony Bua, the all-time leading tackler in the history of Arkansas football. More than 400 tackles in his career. A 13-yard gain as Nash followed the block of the tackle Steven Sanchez.
And that was a good call by Missouri because they got the matchup they wanted. Arkansas went to 5 defensive backs, and when you can block against 5 defensive backs, you got a chance to make good yardage.
1st and 10, Missouri on the move again. A deep ball, one-on-one. Coffey, if anything, pushed away the defender. But no flag as he shoved away Marvin Jackson.
And I'm wondering if we'll possibly see more of Damian Nash throughout this game, because remember, he's smaller and he's faster, and this is a quick defense that is, Abram has had some luck when he breaks through running people over. But at the line of scrimmage, you know, Nash may be better at the quickness moves to try and find the hole.
Well, he also gives you the potential for a big play because he's got game-breaking speed.
Play action fake and then a run. Looked like a design run again for Smith, and he's near another first down. About a yard short at the 31. Aaron Dixon made the tackle as we check out the AOL rushing matchup. These two teams similar in so many ways, and the rushing per game almost identical. Both in the top 8 in the country entering tonight's game.
And see, I don't think Missouri needs to panic right now. I think they can continue to go down the field with the running game, get a score. Remember, in the fourth quarter against Nebraska, they scored 27 points. And so they can get it done if they have to in the fourth quarter. They just don't need to be in a panic.
And the timeout called by Missouri, that's one they might want to have later on. A lot of those little things that Gary Pinkel prides himself on and his team's execution on have not been very impressive tonight. 1:48 left in the third quarter. Missouri facing 3rd down and 1. And guys, again, if you're Missouri, another frustrating happenstance here. I mean, you got to have a few plays on 3rd and 1, and yet you waste the timeout.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Illegal substitution. Goes to 3rd and 5.5 or 6. That's inexcusable.
You just had a timeout. You just called your play. How could you not have the right personnel package?
Both Abram and Nash on the field.
Well, Abram came running in when Nash was already set. And then Nash tried to run off. Oh, that's an awful mistake.
Well, you got to change your play now. Now we have a new personnel package coming on for him.
When we talk about discipline and the emphasis on discipline, Gary Pinkel, at his very first meeting when he became the head coach, a player arrived late. He was coming from a class. Pinkel didn't care. He chewed him out right in front of the team. His first speech ever to his new team. First time he'd ever met any of them. But they pick up the first down, overcoming the penalty and the timeout on the completion on Boga. You can see that Pinkel's still a little bit hot, but he did manage to pat Nash on the back on the way by. But we talked to A.J. Ricker yesterday. He said that got a lot of players' attention right away when he's chewing out the team the first time he ever met the team.
Yeah, that woke him up pretty quickly.
And they did have a number of players leave the program. Just didn't want to hang in there in the tougher regime. Another helmet off as Tony Bua pulls down Zach Abram. Is that Palmer again?
Yeah, and he looked at the sideline, pointed to his helmet. There's something wrong with his helmet. It keeps popping off, but I guarantee it is. He ain't coming out of the game. It's something obviously with his chin strap. He's not able to have it on, maybe not even have one. He's out there pulling. It's coming
he got his block knocked off.
I don't even, that's the second time. I don't think he's got a chin, chin strap.
Exactly. There,
yeah, he got him right at the chin and then the head came off. The helmet anyway.
Here's Abram. He's over 100 yards rushing now. So both star running backs, Cobbs and Abram, have lived up to the advanced billing. Each has rushed for 100 plus. Abram has 110 on just 13 carries. His 12th career game of 100 yards or more.
So much for seeing Nash, maybe a little more. You still like Abram when he gets, especially when he gets to, there's holes there when he gets to that second level.
Well, Missouri's been here before. They absolutely need to punch this in the end zone now. The final minute of third quarter. Smith running left, puts his head down. Touchdown.
That's that quarterback counter that I thought we'd see a lot more of tonight already. He fakes it to Abram, and then there's two backside guard and tackle pull. He just tucks in behind him. There they are. Palmer again leading the way. He puts his head down, gets the last yard himself.
And the great thing about that play is you have guards blocking on defensive backs. It makes it very easy to pick up yardage downfield.
Michael Matheny's extra point just did sneak through. That's a single season record now in PATs for Matheny, is 44th of the year. A Missouri single season record. So they needed a score and they got it to get within 10 in the final minute of the third quarter.
Boy, getting those big guys out in space. I love watching the big old linemen nowadays when they pull and get upfield. They're not leaving their feet anymore. They keep their feet. They move them well. They lock on, and the back or running back here just tucks in.
But not a lot of teams run that anymore. I mean, Joe Gibbs and his guys did it all the time, but not a lot of teams run. You get a lot more zone action, zone blocking, and I think it's because a lot of teams don't have athletic, big 300-pounders.
And you can do it different ways. You can do it with tight ends, with H-backs, with a two-back set, any way you want. But the bottom line is when Missouri does it, because it's a quarterback running it, you end up having an extra man in the blocking scheme.
Capital One Bowl Week continues tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Wake up, bring in the new year with the Outback Bowl, a terrific matchup between two teams in the top 20, number 12 Iowa, number 17 Florida. Chris Leak, the Florida quarterback, looks to complete his terrific freshman season on a high note against one of the best defenses in the nation in Iowa. Here's DeCorey Birmingham across the 30. And taken down by Sardanya Mitchell after a 39-yard return out to the 43-yard line.
Well, an excellent drive by Missouri to get the touchdown. Now the onus falls on that defense. Put with their backs against the wall already with an excellent return by Birmingham. Good blocking. He's got a hole. He's not even getting touched.
That's his longest kickoff return of the season. Cobbs. A short gain on what will likely be the last play of the quarter. They don't have to run another one, and ahead by 10. There's no reason why they should.
Well, Missouri is starting to come with run blitzes. They're starting to think about getting an extra guy involved to shut down the run to give themselves a shot in the fourth quarter.
Well, I guarantee you that Roy Whitkey is the passing coordinator. He's going to try and take advantage of that. He's going to look for a little play action pass over the top.
End of the third quarter, Arkansas leads by 10. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
Hey, Sean, when we come back, we have a little Love Connection chili style. That's right. You hungry for some chili, Sean?
Sure.
Open up. Have a big bite there. I know you got a big mouth, my friend. Come on.
Back in Shreveport for the fourth quarter of the Mainstay Independence Bowl. Missouri, a team that has been winning this season with the formula of limiting the miscues, staying away from penalties and turnovers. They've gone against form tonight. A bad snap gave Arkansas the ball at the 3-yard line, led to a go-ahead touchdown for the Razorbacks, and then an aborted fake field goal attempt, and then on fourth down and goal, an interception. They've turned it over 3 times tonight. They have committed just 10 turnovers, the nation's low all season long. And that included a 4-turnover game against Colorado, by far their worst performance of the year in the turnover area. The pass intended for Kyle Dickerson out of the backfield is incomplete.
Well, you said it. I mean, they've averaged 5 penalties a game, and as you said, 10 turnovers coming into this game. So it has been the little things with Gary Pinkel that they have not done well tonight. And now, as you saw there, they're kind of selling out for the run, forcing Matt Jones to make the pass, and he couldn't put the pass on the mark there to a wide open receiver.
And for a while this year, it was Arkansas that had trouble with penalties. They've been penalized only twice tonight, and they have not turned it over, beating Missouri at its own game. Birmingham into the secondary. And Jason Simpson able to ride him down and prevent the touchdown. But the game goes all the way to the 10-yard line. And they're going to spot him back down at about the 13.
Well, here comes the blitz here. So what do? You have the play run this way. You're taking your chance on which side you blitz from. There's the blitz. You come the other way, and you got a whole bunch of space.
41-yard gain for Birmingham.
Well, we talked about it being out of character for Missouri to bring that much pressure, and they got caught with it that time.
At the very least, they have to hold Arkansas to a field goal here, because if they go 3 touchdowns down or 3 scores down, it's going to be very difficult with this ground attack in Missouri. Jones throws it toward the end zone. It's caught, but out of bounds. Caught by Jason Peters, the tight end.
Now, the rule in the NFL is when you catch it by the out of bounds and you get pushed out, but you would have come down inbounds, it would be a touchdown. Not so in college. You see where he catches the ball? He may have come down inbound, so in the NFL, that may have been questionable whether a touchdown. In college, no. You've got to get those feet down, and he did not. He was pushed out of bounds.
Hey, that's 320 pounds.
In the air.
Peters in the air, getting up there. He can actually dunk a basketball.
See, if he did that and landed on you?
Minnesota Viking fans know that rule.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? You are right. Cardinals did it to him.
Jones.
Oh, my God.
A little stutter step and shake and bake, and he goes down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Russ Bell made the tackle.
That was just his crossover dribble in basketball.
I mean, Ty Ellison that time. It's been Zachville other times.
Look at this.
There you go. Ellison just get, whoops. Okey doke. That is something.
Yeah, see, he's got a little crossover he uses on the basketball court. He just whipped it out on the football field.
Big play here. 3rd down and 4. Missouri trying to hold him to a field goal attempt. From the 8-yard line, Missouri showing blitz, and they bring the blitz. And it works for them as Cobbs did not get near the 1st down marker.
That was a great adjustment on defense. They saw Peters, the big tight end, come off the line. As soon as they did, you saw Missouri change. Everybody came up on the line like they knew exactly where the play was going. You put the big tight end in motion, and you do some blocking.
So here's Chris Balsero, who is perfect tonight. Dowell Loggins, the holder. One of the most popular players in the Arkansas program, just 5'5". Balsero helping his popularity tonight, too, as he's 4 for 4 now.
Give him a scholarship.
Give him that scholarship. 33, 28, 25, and now that one up and good from 24 yards. 27-14, Arkansas.
Some Arkansas offensive line brothers-in-law helping out that drive for the Hogs. They put 3 on the board. You see, senior guard Jerry Wright set up his sister Lee with fellow Hog, if you will, Mark Bokerman. The two met, later got married last June. Now, the interesting part about this story is their first date. It happened at the annual offensive line chili party. 17 pounds of chili, the entire offensive line. Honey, you make it through that first date, it's love.
That's a marriage that has no doubt is going to last if it makes it through that.
Wondering about the significance of that chili at the end of the quarter. The kickoff up for grabs. The Hogs say they have it, and the officials say no. Apparently, it was across the sideline. Either that or the official pointed in the wrong direction because the Hogs came up with the ball, but I think they're going to rule it out of bounds. Tom Crowder thought he had it.
There's dodging a bullet. Again, a team with only 10 turnovers coming into the game.
Derek Ming, who's a backup linebacker, could not handle that kickoff that was short.
See if the ball ends up out of bounds.
Well, no one has possession.
Nope.
Well, Crowder has it.
Wow, looks like he has it there.
He was out of bounds.
Yeah, I think they felt that he was already out of bounds.
Boy,
That looks like he was inbound. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't firmly have possession because it looked like he lunged toward the sideline at the last minute there. There's a throw-in catch. Sean Coffey on the receiving end from Brad Smith. Let's look at this one more time.
Boy, it looks like he has it right there. Inbounds and then gets hit out of bounds.
And the official never hesitated. Just said, nope, it's going that way.
Oh, boy.
If he was out of bounds, though, he couldn't come back in and recover that.
Well, there'd have been a flag, too, though, and there wasn't one.
Abram runs out to the 39-yard line. Jeremy Harrell made the tackle. He's a true freshman, Harrell, who has really been coming on, according to Dave Womack. What a nice job Coach Womack and the defensive staff has done. You've mentioned it a couple times, Mike and Rod, getting ready for this Missouri offense with an undersized defense and not a great deal of talent on it in all candor. Coach Womack, once the defensive coordinator at Southern Miss, they've had great defenses there for a long time. Abram close to the first down. Looks to be a little bit short of it near the 41-yard line. Clark Moore, who's come back from a broken leg, made the tackle.
I tell you, one of the things they said helped. Again, your show team that prepares you for the Missouri offense, for the Arkansas defense, you try and get players to simulate the other team's players. And they had a guy, Robert Johnson was the guy who simulated Brad Smith. And they said watch out for this kid down the road. He's the type of quarterback like a Brad Smith that can run more than throw the ball. And they said they gave him a great look.
3rd and 1. The quarterback sneak.
There's that yellow line again.
The orange line was the line of scrimmage.
On the sneak for Missouri.
Does it seem to you, too, that a lot of times Missouri doesn't get up over the ball until 9 or 10 seconds are left on the play clock?
And then they come to the line, and then they try and quick snap you. And they said they were going to do that some to not let Arkansas move around quite a bit, but they're certainly burning a lot of time.
I think Sean's right. They are getting their plays in from the sideline a little bit late.
Much more quickly this time. Smith, a lot of time to throw, and he got a man open and bounced it in the direction of Sean Coffey. Kind of a lazy throw. He had a chance to set his feet and make a better throw to a wide open receiver, and he just flipped it rather lazily forward.
Yeah, you'll see him come out here, and he thought he had plenty of time, plenty of room, and he just doesn't give it enough.
He aims it, he doesn't throw it. They say this about pitchers, that they aim it at the catcher's mitt. Just throw it to the target. I think he just tries to touch a little too much instead of letting it go.
Smith 14 out of 23 passing, 121 yards, and an interception. The other interception was thrown by the backup quarterback on the fake field goal. Caleb Miller made the stop. What a great game Miller has had.
Houston Nutt just says this is a guy that's always underrated. He's always second team this or second team that and doesn't maybe get the recognition he deserves. Good job keeping a wide base and not letting an elusive Brad Smith get anywhere. He said this guy could have a chance at the next level. His size will be a problem, but again, he's one of those bulldogs that you just want to get on the field somewhere.
Yeah, he's played great, and Tony Bua, I think, has had an outstanding game.
Interesting rush there. They lined up a lot of guys on the line, but only 2 men on the outside rushed. Everybody else held their ground. Deflected pass caught by an offensive lineman, Rob Draghi, for a loss on the play. Bua, one of those outside rushers, deflected the pass.
If you watch Bua from the outside, he's really something special. He's been playing free safety, and then at times in first and second down, they bring him to the linebacker spot. There he is over there. He came off the edge and then got back up, gets double teamed over there, knocked around. But he's a all SEC free safety playing linebacker an awful lot in this ball game.
Well, that was just
4th down.
Yeah.
Injured player. The reason for the stoppage, Ahmad Carroll coming off.
Here's another guy they're wondering if he'll be back next year, a junior, an excellent pro prospect, cover corner.
That was a fascinating rush designed there by Dave Womack. About 6 guys on the line, only 2 of them rushed from the outside. The other 4 just stood there as if to say, Brad Smith, you're not going to run for this first down.
Exactly.
We're all spying you.
Marvin Jackson receiving for Arkansas.
Brock Harvey has it blocked. The ball squirts out again, and Arkansas is going to wind up with it at the 34-yard line. The night of mistakes continues for Missouri. This is not typical Mizzou football under Pinkel, and it's Tom Crowder, the special teams star, one of the best special teams players in the country, who got the block.
And you thought he was going to go by, but you're going to see he's going to get one hand in. Watch this one hand come across. He was almost by the punter. He just reached one hand back. That's an excellent job. You think he's getting pushed by, but he's not. He's getting blocked by Orlando Gooden, who didn't stay with him long enough, and a great job by Crowder bringing the hand back.
Yeah, it's like Gooden was in a rush to get downfield and cover the punt, and he just let him go right into the punter, thinking, I think, as you said, Mike, that they were by the punter. Little razzle-dazzle, and they almost outsmarted themselves. They're lucky that was incomplete. Intended for Birmingham. Cedric Washington threw it after he took a lateral from Jones.
Curry was there for the coverage, and I'm sure everybody from Missouri is wishing he picked that one off so they could get back on offense a little bit, because there's some big-time pressure on this Missouri defense right now.
Well, they were going for the knockout punch.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely right.
You can understand it. Good field position. Just got a big play, trying to strike quickly. Now they go back to their bread and butter. Birmingham driven back by Russ Bell, who's a standout on the track and field team in Missouri. He actually came to Missouri on a track scholarship. Was a state champion discus and shot putter. Out of high school, didn't play for a couple of years at Missouri on the football team. Walked into the coaches one day, said, "I'd like to play football." They looked at him, said, "Hey, you look like a football player. Let's go."
And now he's got the best clean and jerk record, 467 pounds for the hang clean, not clean and jerk, the hang clean. I mean, that's incredible.
So that's good, right?
Oh, yeah, you DB, you wouldn't know about that now, would you?
On the draw, Birmingham couldn't break the tackle of Brandon Barnes, and that's a big stop.
Oh, Birmingham's grabbing his knee. Never like to see that. But that was a big stop for Missouri. I think even keeping him out of field goal range, but right now the concern for Birmingham.
He was a reserve wide receiver. They moved him to tailback when they had some injuries to other running backs. Junior from Atlanta, Texas.
He reached down and grabbed that right away.
Some of the Missouri players have come over. They're equally concerned about Birmingham. They're on the edge of the circle. They're talking to Arkansas players, watching and showing their concern. You see the sportsmanship, and
I guarantee you one player that's going to be there is Jason Peters. That's Birmingham's cousin.
85 yards rushing tonight for Birmingham, who's back on his feet. We'll come back to Shreveport right after this.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2003 Mainstay Independence Bowl, presented by Mainstay, proud sponsor of the Mainstay Independence Bowl, and in part by Capital One, what's in your wallet, and by the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Customize your life.
Fourth quarter, 9:08 remaining, and Arkansas is going to go for it on 4th down and 8 at the Missouri 33-yard line. Too deep, perhaps, to punt. A little bit too long of a field goal try for Balsero.
No, they're not going to do anything.
They're just trying to draw him offside.
Take the penalty.
Punt.
Well, we were talking about it during the break. Why not kick it down there and make Missouri have to go further?
Delay a game for the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Houston Nuts opposite number. Coach Pinkel talks about measurable probabilities. The kicking game, penalties and turnovers. Well, the kicking game's been a nightmare tonight. A bad snap on a punt led to an Arkansas touchdown. A fake field goal. It was intercepted. A block punt. What else can go wrong?
Well, that's for a coach like Gary Pinkel, whose team has been so successful. Again, just 10 turnovers coming in, just 5 penalties a game averaging. To be so successful at that type of discipline, it's got to be very discouraging for him. And Arkansas has looked good, and Houston and the players who talked to said they took a different approach this year. You know, they have not had a lot of luck in the bowls, losing the last 3 and 10 out of the last 11. But this time around, they put the pads on, they hit more, practices were longer, and they were coming in with a little different attitude for this game.
But all they did was hit.
Yeah.
He was determined to send the message that they were going to be tougher, they were going to be prepared, and they were going to run the football regardless of whether they lost a couple of their better blockers or not.
I have no idea what this conversation is all about.
Just kind of getting to know everybody, you know. It's Christmas holiday. Maybe not.
4th and 13. Third punt of the night for Jacob Skinner. Very high. And caught at the 1. That man, Tom Crowder, again. Houston Nutt talked about what a great special teams player he is, and he's proven that tonight. Intercepted the fake field goal, blocked the punt, now downs 1 at the 1.
Time for 2 the Sonic. This is Quinn. How can I help you?
Hi, could I get a watermelon cream slush, an extra long cheese coney, and some wings, please, in the Sonic Bowl Mania Challenge? I am getting annihilated, and worst of all, Sean McDonough is in first place. Are you kidding me? McDonough.
How you doing, sir? We having a little problem with your order here?
Yeah, I was trying to order up some wins for the Sonic Bowl Mania Challenge. See, there's 15 announcers at ESPN doing it, and I'm in dead last. Worst part is this guy, Sean McDonough.
Who is Sean McDonough?
Exactly. Who is Sean McDonough? Well, the point is he's beating me right now. We have a big bowl game coming up, the Peach Bowl. Who do you like in the Peach Bowl? I need some help.
Well, we have a peach cream slush over here.
Yeah, that'll be it. Peach cream slush.
I tell you, he's finishing last in the Sonic Bowl Challenge. He's probably going to win an Emmy or whatever you win for acting.
Mr. Actor.
In the bowl game. She might get a supporting actress nomination. That's a catch. Coffee on the Arkansas sideline. 32-yard gain. And that gets them out of the hole as they were backed up to the 1 after the great play on the down punt by Crowder.
Well, we saw Sean Coffey in practice the other day make repeated catches on the sideline like that. He has a nice relationship with Brad Smith.
When you're 6'5", that helps, huh?
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah.
Play action fake. Smith, good-looking throw, but just out of the reach of Thompson on Boga. So let's check the aforementioned Sonic Bowl Mania standings. And Reese Davis said you have company, but I have a bigger lead than I did at the start of the day.
You do. Remember, there's only 15 people, and there's
Stoner.
This guy right here.
Curry.
That's who I'm coming after. Number 4, Trev Alberts. I'm coming after you, Trev.
You got to be coming after Sean.
No, I can't get Sean, but I can get Trev.
We can get Sean.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm not. No.
I'm going after Trev.
I'll take you out the knees before I concede.
Good catch in traffic. And another first down on Boga. And Smith seems to be on his way to getting the 178 yards passing he needed tonight. You have a 2,000-yard passing. 1,000-yard rushing season. He'd be the only quarterback in the history of 1A football to do that twice.
That's
he did
incredible.
it last year too as a freshman.
Absolutely incredible. I'm sure he would take the win right now, not even thinking of that. And also coming up next year as well, he's going to have that H next to his name, H candidate, Heisman candidate. He's an excellent player.
Great catches from Ramboga. Smith gets away inside the 40. And down at the 32. I'd say next year's Heisman Trophy campaign has begun.
That's one of those signature moments, and he showed you incredible patience. Not the speed, watch the patience. He waits for blocks to develop, he waits for alleys to open, and then he gets through them quickly.
You've seen some great running tonight by a lot of backs. He may be the best back on the field when all is said and done.
He's got great balance.
He really does, and the patience, that's a great point. He really does.
23-yard gain. Now they change it up with Nash. And he's pulled down by Jimmy Beasley, former walk-on who's just kept improving and become a mainstay on this defense. He's already graduated with a degree in marketing management as well. 1st and 10, Missouri. And guys, this is very impressive. Starting on the 1 in about a minute and a half, they've gone all the way down to the 20-yard line.
It is impressive, but I would like to see just a hair more sense of urgency out of Missouri now. Just get him off a little quicker as we get a timeout.
From Arkansas. Arkansas calls a timeout. But I think Missouri's okay. I mean, as long as they're patient and they get a score, they get a touchdown out of this, they'll be in good shape.
Well, the only reason I say to get it going a little bit and leave time is because their defense has had trouble, though they've been successful of late, in stopping that Arkansas offense, which has been able to burn some time.
The way they've been pushed around at times, I'd let them stay on the sideline a little longer, get a little rest.
Gary Pinkel, he was a hot commodity when he was at Toledo, interviewed for a number of jobs, said he only wanted to go someplace where he could build a national program. He thought in the state of Missouri, where you're the only Division I-A school, and there's a good amount of high school football talent. You got St. Louis at one end, Kansas City at the other. So the only thing that was really lagging behind was the facilities, and they had just put about $50 million in the facilities. They're going to put another $10 million in. They're on par now with most of the teams that they're competing with, if not ahead of several. And he said the academic standards were a little too high in football. They're getting a little bit of help in that area, although it's still a very high standard academic institution.
Yeah, he's really trying to move this institution up into the national spotlight a little more.
The Rose Bowl presented by City tomorrow, USC and Michigan. No matter which team you think is number one, the only place to see any of those candidates is on ABC. 4:30 tomorrow for USC against Michigan. Two quarterbacks who've thrown for more than 3,000 yards in that game. The great Chris Perry ending his collegiate career in Pasadena. 1st and 10 for the corner, and it is incomplete. Intended for Sean Coffey. Marvin Jackson had the coverage.
And one more thing I want to say with as we take a look at this is quickly on Gary Pinkel. Is his father. He wanted to send out his wishes to his father George, who had a stroke 5 weeks ago, is still in an Akron hospital, and Gary wanted to have us mention out there to Dad keep on fighting, and he's thinking about him. You know, certainly has his mind on the game here, but his thoughts are with his father.
I'm sure his dad is very proud of Gary. He's done an outstanding job here in Missouri. Smith. Of course, that was his best move so far, bringing Smith, who was not highly recruited, with him when he made the move from Toledo to Missouri. He had not been being recruited at all by the previous staff at Missouri, but when Pinkel got the job, he called Smith and said, well, we're going to Missouri, not Toledo, and if you'd like to come with us, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, and Smith said he knew nothing about Missouri. And hadn't heard about him or anything, but then he went and took a look at the campus and fell in love with it and said, yeah, I'll follow.
And a big reason why he wasn't very heavily recruited was his size. He was, what, about $170 or so, 68, and still at 205. You know, that's better size, but as you project to the next level and such, he is definitely going to have to put on some weight with all the running he does. You get banged around an awful lot.
Nash a little bit banged up, and he has escorted off. And when you talk to the Missouri people about Smith, Dave Christensen, I thought, had a wonderful quote yesterday, the offensive coordinator, who said, as good a football player he is at least 10 times better a person. Man of extraordinary religious faith. Abram didn't get there. Needed 3. He got about 1.5 yards. They'll need another 1.5 yards on 4th down. Caleb Miller with yet another stop.
Well, I would say there's no doubt what's going on here. They haven't been very successful in this area, but they ever needed a yard and a half. It's right now.
Well, and it's got to be Smith, and it's got to be Smith on the perimeter. Give him an option to run it or throw it, and let him create something for you.
They're just 1 for 4 on 4th down tonight. That's been a big key in this game. Abram gets it this time.
Wow.
Not sure Gary Pinkel was confident during that entire run that Abram was going to get there. It looked like he was kind of stumbling forward, but he got there to the 9 and a 1st down, 1st and goal.
I was with you on that, Rod. I think I'd have gone another route. I thought a lot of Missouri fans were holding their breath since they've been unsuccessful there tonight doing that.
That was gutsy.
10th play of the drive. They've had the ball about 3 minutes now. Fade into the end zone, incomplete, uncatchable. In the direction of Brad Ekwu, the first time we called his name tonight, and for the broadcasters, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Mike, we were on the field before the game watching Brad Smith throw the fade route.
Right.
And they struggled with that in pregame warmups, and they've struggled with it here in the ballgame in the 4th quarter.
Especially the fade to the left like that. You're absolutely right.
2nd and goal from the 9. Smith will not get away this time. A half yard, and that's it. Well played by Justin Scott.
Justin Scott and Jeb Huckabee did an excellent job of not letting, that was the backside guard tackle again, pulling on that counter O. But Scott and Huckabee wouldn't let him go.
Third down and goal from the 9. Smith zings one this time a little too hard. Broken up by Caleb Miller.
One other thing that happens when you're not a great passer at this point, and Brad Smith's not there yet, is you lock on, and he locked on all the way. Caleb Miller saw it, and watch. He's going to go right now. He knew exactly where that ball was going, and he took a break on it and got a hand on it. Excellent anticipation.
Yeah, and that's tough. They're playing zone down there. You've got a 2-receiver route. Yeah. There's not going to be any room. And I would prefer to see them get Smith to the edge. Let him try and create something.
4th and goal, 3 receivers to the left. Nobody open. Smith will take off, and he's not going to get there. Now he throws it away after, I believe, he had crossed the line of scrimmage. Yep. And there is a flag now, and it fell incomplete anyway.
And that's exactly what it was, Sean. He was past the line, tried to throw it. Now decline the ball, go over to Arkansas.
And Keith Jackson Jr., the son of the former great tight end, who's their radio analyst, former Oklahoma Sooner, had his hands on Smith. He's made a number of big plays tonight for Arkansas.
Sean, you brought it up before, the rush where you had like 2 guys rushing and everybody else hanging back. Same thing here. You have a few players just hanging at the line of scrimmage saying, Brad Smith, if you run, you're not going to get it. And they stopped him.
And really, that's been the story of the game. Yep. Is 4th down, and Missouri drives deep into Arkansas territory. Several times tonight have come away with nothing.
Yeah, they just couldn't finish any of those drives deep in the red zone.
Illegal forward pass. Smith had crossed the line of scrimmage when he made that desperation throw.
Handling on the offense. It's declined. That was a 4th down. 1st down.
Watch on this play again. However, more than a few players just kind of hang out at the line of scrimmage. They're just hanging there, not going to let Brad Smith run on him, hanging out, seeing where he's going to go, and then they break on him at the last minute.
Well, the key for Arkansas was to find a way to contain Smith. And I really believe having Tony Bua step up and play a linebacking spot. They go away from the 4-2-5 and go more with the 4-3-4 look, letting Bua, an athletic linebacker, get involved in containing Smith. I think that's really helped Arkansas tonight.
And that's what Bua played last year, that what they called their wolf position. Then this year he's playing some safety, but now they bring him back down to the linebacker position to do just what you said, to try and contain Brad Smith.
And credit that man, the defensive coordinator, for a terrific job. They had an excellent plan tonight, and his defense has executed it beautifully.
He spent some time at Southern Mississippi with John Thompson, and you know Southern Miss has had some of those weird defenses we've seen over the years too, and he brought it right with him to Arkansas.
Players moving around. Bill Curry, who I used to do games with, called it the minnow bucket defense. All the minnows in the bucket, you put your hand in there and they just kind of scatter. Players moving everywhere.
Here's Cobbs with a quality gain on 1st down. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Chopped down by Quincy Wade with help from Jason Simpson, and the clock goes under 4.5 minutes left. And 2 timeouts left for Missouri.
Well, if you're Missouri, you have to try and get a takeaway. They haven't had one tonight. 24 on the season, plus 14 in turnover margin, yet they haven't been able to cause a turnover with Arkansas.
An interesting season for Arkansas, unranked at the start of the season. They got off to a 4-0 start, including a win over number 5 Texas. They went all the way up to number 8 in the rankings. And then they had 3 straight losses. And Houston was praising his team, saying, you know, a lot of teams that start like that and get all the hype and get all excited about the possibility, then lose 3 in a row. A lot of times they don't bounce back. His team has. And they got a chance for a 9-win season.
Well, the other thing he said about that was that 4-0 start. The open week kind of hurt them because they didn't handle that success very well. They went 0 for October after everybody told them how great they were and that they were going to win the national title, and they came out and lost.
Jones, the keep, the stiff arm. He just runs right by the defense. And then lost the football. They're going to rule him down by contact at the 45-yard line of Missouri. A 24-yard gain for Jones.
What a great stiff arm he has. Phenomenal stiff arm. At 6'6", you know he's got the long arms. Watch this left one come out and say, not happening, get away. Again, the guy that would rather be on the basketball court.
Well, he's going to be on the basketball
court.
Very soon. January 3rd.
Hopes to play in their game January 3rd for Coach Stan Heath.
Said if he played all the time, he'd probably be a guard. But because he doesn't play that much, more of a swing. Plays a 2 and the 3.
He thinks his ball handling skills wouldn't be quite up to par right now. He not dribbled the ball in quite a long time. Not much there on first down.
Cobb's the ball carrier.
Cobb's the ball carrier. Simpson and Barnes the tacklers. And Arkansas running out the clock here as we tick down to 2:37 remaining.
Well, I guarantee you, Coach Houston Nutt got a little inspiration from the movie last night. I went to see a movie last night. I wanted to go, and I was standing in line to see The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and up pulls 2 buses, and it's the entire Arkansas team. Coach Nutt invites me to come in with them, so I watched the movie last night with the whole team for free. Well, don't say that.
Wow.
Yeah, I got some popcorn, too, out of the deal. Beautiful deal.
Company rule against that, not to get you in trouble. The last telecast of the year.
That's okay. It's okay.
Thanks for inviting your friends.
Hey, I didn't know. I didn't know they were going to be there. But it was an excellent. It really was an excellent movie. Just what you want as a player before a game. A lot of violence, something I always wanted to see before a game. Seriously. But also there was a lot of talk of honor, discipline, working hard to the end, fighting to the finish. And as I was watching it, I was thinking Coach Nutt was probably taking notes on what he was going to say about it to the team about remember what happened last night. And while the players, we were just watching everybody get cut in half with samurai swords. It was great. It's phenomenal. I love a little violence for a violent game.
We could have Cobbs, the drama major, review it for us. He has 143 yards rushing, and he'll lose a couple off that total. The attendance here tonight, 49,625. That's within a couple hundred of a complete sellout. It's the 3rd largest crowd in the history of the Mainstay Independence Bowl in 28 years. This is a bowl that has really grown in stature. I think the tie-in with these 2 conferences, SEC and Big 12, you're usually guaranteed marquee matchup.
Yep. Guys, we should really tip our hats to the backups for Arkansas who stepped up tonight. Zach Tubbs, Brandon Kennedy at fullback. They continue to have the running game go, even though 2 of their stellar players weren't here tonight.
Big turnaround for Arkansas as far as bowls are concerned, and you're right. Credit that line, that rushing attack, that defense for stopping an excellent rushing attack from Missouri. The defense really came through tonight.
They're already given Coach Nutt the Gatorade bath. His team has rushed for 300 yards tonight. They're on their way to victory. Arkansas 44 seconds away from ending a 3-bowl losing streak. They had lost 10 of their previous 11 bowl games. Arkansas has taken another timeout. They wanted a couple of curtain calls here for some members of their offense. Be saluted by their fans. We'll take a look at the ESPN game track. It was that kind of a night for Arkansas. Even when there was a collision on the handoff, it winds up in a touchdown for Cobb's part of his 141-yard night. And one mistake after another for a team that prides itself on making very few mistakes. Crowder intercepted the fake field goal and blocked the punt. He also downed a punt on the 1 and made a couple of tackles on special teams. Caleb Miller, 14 tackles for the defense. 9 unassisted. A total team effort as Arkansas is about to win its 9th game of the year. Skinner to punt. Well, they might try to come after that one, but very passive rush. Marcus James, who is 5th in the nation, averaging 15 yards per punt return, unable to get free. Let's visit with Rob Stone.
Does size matter in coaching? 5-foot senior Dow Loggins of Arkansas hopes it doesn't. He wants to be a graduate assistant next year, but you know, who in their right mind would hire a guy who is a holder of kicks? That's all he does on the field, but off the field is where this guy stands tall. He signals plays from the sideline. He's saved all of his scouting reports for future use. He tutors the young offensive linemen and young quarterbacks. He helped coordinate passing leagues during the summer. And when the two top quarterbacks on the team don't understand the offense, guess who they turn to? 5-foot Dow Loggins. Let's put that on his resume.
Here's Abram. And another tackle for Caleb Miller, his 15th of the night.
My friend, go do something else. These coaches are nuts, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, how about Houston?
No pun intended.
How about Houston Nutt, Coach Nutt, and players he's coached that have gone on to be coaches in his coaching career? 56 of his former players are now coaching somewhere.
That's
with his
10
time
years. At Murray State and at Arkansas. Yeah.
10 years as a head coach. He's at 56 players going to coaching.
Guess who? Caleb
Miller, tackle number 16. And it'll be the final play of the game. Capital One player of the game, Cedric Cobbs. But really, there were a number of worthy candidates on that Arkansas sideline. 141 yards, a nice way to close out his up-and-down career. And a well-deserved hug for defensive coordinator Womack. Once again, the final score here at the Mainstay Independence Bowl in Shreveport. Arkansas 27, Missouri 14. Sports Center is next here on ESPN. Now for Rod Gilmore, Mike Golick, Rob Stone, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Sean McDonough. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Good night from Shreveport, and Happy New Year, everyone.
7-14 over Missouri. We now welcome in the gentlemen who called the game, Sean McDonough, Mike Golick, and Rod Gilmore. And gentlemen, another coming out party for Brad Smith, but in a loss. The question for Houston Nutt, is it his last game for Arkansas?
Well,
what do you think?
Houston, let me tell you what. Houston Nutt had his team prepared for this bowl game. They had not done well in bowls. They'd lost their last 3. They lost 10 of their last 11 bowl games. They prepared differently for this one, and it showed on the field. They executed offensively, rushing for 300 yards, and defensively, they did a great job bottling up Brad Smith and that very, very good rushing offense of Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know that it's his last game for Arkansas. He certainly didn't address any of that during this week with all the changes going on in college football. He was solely focused on this ball game, and you saw it in the performance of his team tonight. They really didn't make any mistakes at all.
As for the game itself, Brad Smith, I mean, he's one of the stars nationwide, but he's only a sophomore. Does he come back as a Heisman favorite? He had, 155 yards passing, 102 on the ground.
I think he does. The 155, unfortunately, left him just short of another 2,000-yard passing, 1,000-yard rushing season. He was trying to become the first quarterback to do that twice in the history of 1A football. So you talk about coming close to doing that in your freshman and sophomore year, something that's never been done before. You've got to be one of the leading candidates next year.
Without a doubt, he's on the map. We know Jason White, the Heisman Trophy winner, is coming back. We don't know about Larry Fitzgerald, and the next two, Eli Manning and Chris Perry, they're gone. This guy's definitely going to be one of the preseason favorites or in the top 5. Without a doubt, he's got that kind of talent.
Yeah, I see him on the list, but don't forget that guy out of USC, that tall receiver by the name of Mike Williams. I think he'll be on that list as well. There's some talented guys that will show up next year on that preseason list.
And speaking of talented guys, there were a couple who were there all season for Arkansas who were not here in the bowl game tonight. They're starting fullback Matt Pierce and their starting right tackle Sean Andrews, one of the leading offensive linemen in the nation. One left for what they called mutual reasons, and the other left to get ready for his future in the NFL. That was part of what Houston Nutt talked about moments ago when he visited with Rob Stone.
Coach, what was the difference in this game?
I tell you, just a lot of guys came out with a lot of heart. Guys like Zach Tubbs, Brandon Kennedy had to step up, fill some big shoes, and they did. And I tell you, I love our seniors. They had just tremendous heart all year long. Started out 4-0 and had a slump in October, and they came back to win 4 straight. Takes a lot of heart and character.
One of your seniors, running back Cedric Cobbs, he started off as a true freshman, winning most valuable player of the Cotton Bowl. Has another pretty good game in his final game as a Razorback. Tell me about this talent.
Proud of him. Proud of him. He's had great talent. Started out as a freshman with a bang, and then had a couple of dips in a row. That's why this is the greatest game in the world, because there's ups and downs, and it's okay to get knocked down as long as you get back up, and he got back up.
How much momentum does this provide you heading into next season?
It's going to be awesome. It's awesome. It always helps recruiting, and we're in one of the toughest leagues in America, so every win helps.
Congratulations. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
So it's a 9-win season for Houston Nutt. They had lost 3 bowl games in a row and 10 of their previous 11 before the win tonight. Total team effort, great performances all the way around, but Cobbs lived up to his hype.
Well, he absolutely did, and he had a lot of hype coming into Arkansas, had a great true freshman year, and then, as Houston Nutt said, had a tough path here. As you see, part of the 141 yards he gained tonight. Injuries kind of marred his way a little bit, but he really finished strong. This turned out to be his 11th 100-yard game of his career. He's looking to move on to the next level now, but what a great way for him to finish his time here at Arkansas.
And the defense outstanding as well. You know, they didn't totally shut down Brad Smith, and they knew that they wouldn't, or Zach Abram. He had more than 100 yards rushing for Missouri, but they contained them well enough to win the game. And Caleb Miller, by our count, had 16 tackles, 11 of them unassisted. A great all-around performance.
I think you're absolutely right. Caleb Miller really stands out because of his numbers, 15, 16 tackles, whatever you want to call it. But I also thought that Tony Bua had a great night as well. The entire plan was to keep Brad Smith bottled up, to keep the ball inside. And Bua helped by being on the edge as a linebacker coming off his safety spot, forcing things inside. They caused turnovers that Missouri usually doesn't commit, but they made them make turnovers tonight. It was an outstanding defensive effort by Arkansas.
And we should not forget about the special teams either. They intercepted a pass on a Missouri fake field goal try. They blocked the punt. They downed the punt at the 1-yard line. They were terrific on special teams too, Steve.
Nearly 800 yards of total offense, a pretty exciting game. And you guys mentioned Cedric Cobb, and we have an email from a fan on New Year's Eve who is very interested in Cobb's future in the NFL. Specifically, Mark of Silver Springs, Maryland, wants to know what kind of NFL running back will Cedric Cobbs be?
Well, he came in, like I said, with a lot of fanfare, but then there was that middle part where he had some trouble on and off the field. Finished strong, 6'1", about 225. Needs to catch the ball more out of the backfield. I believe only had 7 receptions coming into this game. The combine will be key for him, and individual workouts to get in front of the scouts, show he can catch the ball. He's shown he can run it when he's healthy, and that's something he'll need to show, but only when he gets on the field to do that. But the combine for a lot of these guys who aren't guaranteed first-rounders is going to be very, very important for him. I think he can make it. He will not be one of the top picks, so one of the top backs gone. He'll be down after the top 5 or so.
Yeah, 2 issues with him. You said it. Can he catch the ball? And 2, can he stay healthy? He has a history of injuries. If he can prove that he'll be healthy over an extended period of time, that will help him.
My issue would be with the emailer. You know, it's New Year's Eve. You got plenty of time to worry about your rotisserie team for the future, your fantasy team, whatever it is in the NFL. The guy's months away from playing in the NFL. Get out. Have a good time for yourself.
We'll keep our dedicated viewers if we can. But Sean McDonough, Mike Golick, and Rod Gilmore, thank you for calling the game, gentlemen. Have a Happy New Year down in Shreveport.
Happy New Year.
We like our viewers. We're going to keep